And welcome back to Champ Dan.
Shh, that's my bit. All right, intro's on. Pow, and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you will follow me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. And if you want to tweet me, you can at Dan Who Reviews, but you don't have to. It's completely up to you. Welcome to another Thursday stream. 36 weeks in a row now. Consistency is key, people. So far, so good. But I haven't been here on my own. And today is the same. I'm not on my own. I've got two very special guests. You'll know on both. And I'm just going to go straight in and press some buttons. Let me just find the buttons. As I said, I still don't have a producer yet, so I'm still doing all this myself. But we have Brandon, aka Hero Collections, and the legendary Craig Warrack. Hey. How you doing, gentlemen? How you doing? How you doing, Craig?
Dan, come to think of it, 36 weeks in, we really need like an audio, not an audio, I'm talking about like an audience, like.
I know I want a soundboard.
Sound effect.
I've already thought about getting a soundboard, but the problem is, any sounds I play, you can't hear. Like it's 36 weeks in, and you still can't hear the super chats. So if I awkwardly interrupt you, I do apologise. I'll just let the super chat play, and I'll tell you when it's over. That's if anyone does. But Craig, welcome. Thank you for coming back. We didn't scare you off from last time. Much appreciated.
Well, you did. I'm just a glutton for punishment. I'm into it.
It's fine. It's fine then. Fine. More of the same. Okay.
We needed to toot and boot some more.
Yeah, we did. I do enjoy tooting and booting.
Knickers.
Shout out to the chat and everything. Hello. Make yourself known. Use the special emojis if you have them. Brandon will say hello in a second. I'm just going to go through my usual spiel, and you know the score, people. If you want to support the channel, all that good stuff, hit that join button, become a channel member. This week is the week of Legends and Liquor, so on Sunday I am going to be inviting some of my channel members onto the stream. So yeah, become a channel member, show some love, or join the members club. Much appreciated. But if you do want to just support the channel by today and be a part of today's stream and get your opinions heard, then the super chats are of course £4 or $4, and my lazy robot assistant Friday will read them out to you if she's working. We don't know, we'll find out later on, but all the same, much appreciated. And today, if you couldn't tell, the topic, the title, the thumbnail all says the same. It's basically just a recap, but it couldn't have just been me and Brandon. We couldn't have done it on our own. You hear us all the time. We wanted to bring Craig Warrack in. He's going to tell us the actual. So I'm too happy, Craig. Like I'm too nice. Like I interviewed the Marvel team. And I'm like, everything's great. You're better than imports. Yeah. Obviously, we need someone to bring the tone down a little bit.
I mean, Daniel, you couldn't have gone further up the anus. No, you did very well. You're very measured. But if there's any people in the chat who don't know me, hold on to yourself. I'm the king of the negative zone. I'm a nihilist himself. Hold on. But I've got some positive things to say, so don't worry.
Good. Well, we'll get there. We'll be tooting and booting instead of the hitting and missing. I should have made some special emojis just for today, but it's all good. But Brandon, say hello to the chat, and then we'll tell them how we actually met each other in person, and how Brandon is you're tall. You are tall, but I'm not sure. That's the conclusion we came to. But we'll talk about that in a minute.
Thanks, Dad. I appreciate that. So we got 39 people in the chat. Let's have a look. I'm just going back up to the top. Hold on. YouTube's playing with me.
Oh, jeez, it's got one job. See. Come on.
So, we got graffiti toys here. It says "Eat the worm." Time to talk toys. I think Graffiti Toys is a new name in the chat, so welcome.
You're all welcome.
We've got Tac Customs, Cloud Foxwell, Jay's Figs, Stridin is back, Mark Rose, Damien says, "Pow everyone, Happy Bunny today has finally got NECA Rat King, Tupac, and Zarax and Zork from Comics and Cocktails. So UK dwellers, they are coming." I understood half that message. That sounds good. Tanner is here. Cloud Foxwell, I said already. Toying Around is in the chat. Kevin here. Kevin is here. He's unboxing on Thursdays as usual. Is today Thursday? Today's Thursday, yeah. Till 2012, let's go. Tony Collector 10 says, "What's up, everyone? Jamie is back." Gentle Tuner is here. I love that username. Tuna is my favorite fish. AB Nuglas says, "What's up, everyone? How's your week been so far?" Marcus is back. Jason is back. Nathan is in the chat. Evening, everyone. Pow pow. Nathan is excited for the new Disney Plus wave that we're hoping drops sometime in the next few weeks. Rich says Brandon was robbing the intro. No, I wasn't. That was Craig. Home Dude says, yo, what's up? Tanner says, wait a sec, WW have released Joe. I assume WW have released Joe. You know, G.I. Joe.
No, he said WWE have released Joe. Maybe they mean WWE are basically releasing loads of wrestlers at the minute, so maybe Samoa Joe's gone. Interesting. Okay.
Maybe.
Breaking news for another day.
Wow. Dwayne the Joe Johnson. George W101 says Ultron and Thor were my top two reveals. Laser Pants is in the chat. Hit that like button, he says. Pow, pow, pow. Nightwing is here. What's up, guys? Happy Thursday, everyone. Colossal Customs. Rich. Crazy Toon Productions. Damien says, Craig, nice to have another Scot in the mix. I'm from Shetland, Bonnie, Scotland.
Oh, hi. Here we go.
Marvel Collect UK says, evening all. Collect with Chris says, yo. Tyler Lalonde says, hello. Graham Kelly says, hey, excited for the stream. And Tac Custom says, I've got Meteor's Fist of the North Star Action statue on pre-order and it looks good. Sounds good to me. I have no idea who it is, but it sounds good. And we're now to 45 in the chat. And breathe.
So, some of those characters that you mentioned earlier are these guys, by the way, Brandon. The turtle ones.
Oh, okay.
So cartoon turtles.
Yeah.
Right.
The 200-pound burning hole in your wallet. Yeah.
The cartoon turtles. As I said before,
when we tell our story,
before I picked up a comic or knew anything about Marvel, I was given Turtle VHS tapes. Do you know, cartoon Turtles is just as close to my heart as all the Marvel stuff. But NECA are killing me off. I'm not going to lie.
Someone break out the Turtle violins, as Dan calls his nostalgic late 80s venture into VHS.
Just nostalgia gets me. It chases me. I'm a sucker for it. I'm a sucker. But right, okay, let's talk about Brandon. So Brandon, you're an actual real person. You're not just a virtual sort of AI thing that I created. Yeah. So the story is, In-Demand Toys, obviously lockdowns happened, and In-Demand Toys, which we use all the time regularly. Craig, you a fan of In-Demand?
Absolutely.
Of course, yep. So we use them all the time. UK independent store. Without places like that and others, our collections would be a lot slimmer, trust us. So they've moved to a new location and their store opening got delayed due to another UK lockdown. So they only opened for the first time, like many other places, I'm sure, on Monday, on the 12th of April. So me and Brandon thought, look, we want to go and show some love to In Demand. We want to just check it out. Let's go on a road trip. Let's do it. So we've literally both jumped in our cars. He brought his very creative videographer friend. Would you call him a videographer, Archie? Yeah.
Cinematographer.
There you go. That's even better. I just brought my girlfriend, but you brought someone useful. We drove. I got up at 5:30 in the morning to drive there in time for the store opening, and we got let in just a little bit early, so we could see the store with the shelves stocked first. But we were only in there for about 10 minutes first, and to be honest, I was just going to walk around with my phone and do like a standard YouTube walking around a shop video, like I thought, but Brandon and Archie had completely different ideas, and we've got like a full-length Netflix documentary coming out in the near future. So who knows when that will be, but hopefully soon we'll have some footage.
It did get picked up by Netflix. They emailed me today.
Nice. Well, they do pick up everything, so I'm not surprised. But hopefully there should be some footage soon.
They said they wanted a sequel of your trip to the seaside.
Oh, no, I didn't even film any of that. She just got me we walked 10k along the beach so she could find some seals. And she found some seals. She thought she was David Attenborough talking about them, and she was happy. So, But we got, as I said, I'm just more surprised I got home safe. Too much driving for one day for me.
So just to add a little bit more meat to the bones with that. So we got there. They had, and In Demand had all kinds of like sold out stock of, some of the latest releases. Everything from Marvel Legends Rogue and Silver Surfer to Black Series Ahsoka's and Mandalorian,
Cobra Island Troopers, etc. Yeah,
Cobra Island Troopers, G.I. Joe, and then they had some real classics in there. So they had Greedo from Black Series, the original Greedo. They had Jabba. Well, they had about 8 Jabbas really.
Yeah.
Rex, Tarkin, all kinds of stuff. So it was really great to go and see the new store. The old place that they had was really like a glorified broom closet, to put it nicely. It was very small and it was in the middle of a shopping center. So it was much better now that they have this big space to really make the most of. But my favorite part of the day was we were having a look around, and Dan had mentioned that he had everything already, right? And then he gets to the NECA. So then he gets to the NECA section, and he says, "Oh yeah, these just still came in this week, right?" And then his girlfriend says, "Wait, Dan, they're £60 each."
I know.
Like, "Oh no! I got fever from another place." And
yeah, the price stickers on the front of things, and then you walk in my girlfriend around a toy shop where she knows I've got a room full of this crap. Didn't really help. But no, it was great to go there.
So funny.
Yes,
So
it was good to go there. As I said, I wish it was a little bit closer. I'd go more often. But yeah, a nice little road trip. As I said, I took the missus to the seaside. She's happy, I'm happy. Not a bad day. And I got to meet Brandon as well. He's a real person. So hopefully,
Yes.
then hopefully we'll have some nice footage out for the channel as well very, very soon. But
And for the fan fiction, how tall are you?
so I think I'm about 5'10", 5'11", and Brandon says he's 6'2", right? But I weren't too much shorter than you. No.
Huh?
How tall did you think you were then?
Look at him.
Your quiff makes you higher. That's why I'm growing my quiff to try and make me look a little bit taller.
No, I'm kidding. So I'm about 6'2". I think Dan's about 5'11", 6-ish, 5'11".
Yeah, I weren't much shorter than you. I was just a little bit. I was a bit annoyed. So I'm like, the sidekick's meant to be shorter than me. This isn't happy.
Oh, no, wait. Okay, wait. I got
Well,
a couple more tidbits. Go ahead, Craig.
well, I'm 5'6", so I'm short, bald, fat, and with a terrible attitude. So I'm a quadruple threat, really. So
So when we got there, Dan rocked up with his cat, his signature Dan Who cat, and his sunglasses, and someone in the line goes, "Hey, it's Dan Who."
Shut up.
no.
Right?
Oh,
and then,
no.
yeah. And then it gets better, right? So, have I got a mask with me? No. Okay, so then we're in the shop, right? And I'm looking at Greedo and some other bits, and we're trying to get these shots of these vintage 3 3/4 Star Wars figures, and we're filming, and then someone says, I can't remember his name, Wayne,
I think it was. Yeah, Wayne.
Wayne. So this guy Wayne, he said, "Oh, it's Brandon." And I'm like, "I don't know this guy. Do I know this guy? Where do I know this guy from?" And I have a mask, right? You can't. This is all you can see. I have a mask on. And he says, "Yeah, I watch you and Dan on Thursdays."
Yeah.
I can't believe it. And then what did he say about his wife?
I can't remember. His
He's
wife.
left her. He's
Yeah.
left her for you.
He followed us.
Yeah.
No, shout out to Wayne. He said he watches. As I said, some people probably watch and don't write in the comments at all. We're probably just background noise or something. So if that's you, if we're in the background while you're potting around or whatever, hello, thank you, we appreciate you.
Yeah,
and
Pay
today,
attention.
yeah, stop what you're doing. Yeah, right in the chat. No, I'm joking. It's all good. So today we are recapping Hasbro Pulse Con. So let's just get straight into it, shall we? So obviously my bread and butter is Legends, but we do tinker into a few other things, and I'm curious to get Craig's opinion on like some of this new Fortnite-y stuff as well, because well, I'm curious, as you said yourself, you said to me you're more of a toy connoisseur, so I'm curious, just wiggling the mustache, I'm curious, like if you think these figures are going to be good. Are they utilizing are they just the same old, or are they actually doing new things? Is it something different for the toy community? Because a lot of people are buying this Fortnite stuff. Like, I know a lot of people in this community buy the Fortnite stuff, for example, and have never played the game. They just think they're fun looking action figures. So I've not went down that rabbit hole yet, but it is always still fun to get people's thoughts. So let me
operative word being yet.
Well, no, I don't think I will. As I said, the Turtles Turtles and Marvel alone, and then a bit of Power Rangers here and then, a bit of Star Wars, and G.I. Joe as well. Like, it all chips away at you, doesn't it? So
just all of it then, really.
Yeah, well, I wish. I still say no to a lot. But my willpower is very weak. I'm not going to lie. I'm weak. But let's switch over to the new fancy screen I've got going on. As I said, learning Streamlabs every week. So there we go. We can see the website. But I don't want the website first because they don't have the new reveals on. So let's see if I can get the new reveals and start off. There we go. Can you see them?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so clearly, Brandon, thanks to producer Rich, by the way. Rich M Displayed Once has hooked me up with some fancy squares to talk about and he's very kindly put the names of these characters on there for me because he knew we wouldn't have a clue who these were. So that's I can zoom in as well, I think. So I thought this was a shark at first, but it's not. This guy's called Ripley, and it seems to be a tiny little fish inside a sort of transparent hawk body. Now, I have to admit, I quite like the look of that character design. It does look like something you probably would see in the Suicide Squad. Obviously, King Shark I'm thinking of. So that's Midas Rex, Lynx, and Chaos Agent. So we'll first go to Craig. Craig, firstly, are you a fan of gaming in general? Have you ever played Fortnite? And how do these look to you? And is Fortnite any good?
So I love gaming, but I'm very much old school, as you can tell by the hairline. Online multiplayer things where kids call you gay and you're like, thank you. I don't like. I'm just.
They're trying to offend you, and you're like, stop flattering me.
I don't mind. I don't get into all of that. So I downloaded Fortnite, which took an actual fortnight, and then I played it.
That's what it's called. Good name.
For about 14 seconds because they did like the Marvel stuff in it, and I was like, oh, that's exciting. I'll give that a shot. I'll go and I'll be Doctor Doom or something. And it's like I couldn't understand a single thing that was. I was like, where's the game? We're just in a lobby, in a corner, just like rotating around. So I didn't know how to start it. I didn't know what to do at all. And so I just like, this isn't for me. So that wasn't great. But these figures, I mean, I don't have a single clue who any of them are. I can kind of just by looking at them, you can kind of work out what's going on. I think they're quite visually interesting. The figures themselves look really good. These, I think, are just digital renders.
Yeah. No, they are, yeah.
But they look really good. Like, even like the cat lady there. Sorry, Lynx, apparently. And I'm gendering her. I don't know. I don't know anything about you, Lynx. I do apologise. But when I saw this revealed in the Hasbro Pulse Fan Fest chat before I switched it off, people were going, oh, that's a custom Catwoman. And I sometimes think that's a great measure of how much people react to a figure without knowing who it is. They like the figure and they want it to be someone they like. Yeah. Like, they're looking at that and they're like, that's a great Catwoman figure. And it is. Like, I love all the detailing is good. It's just plain black, but it's like the different effects of black that you get with like the G.I. Joe series. So I'm seeing very much a G.I. Joe sort of influence in it, like the matte black, the gloss black, the articulation looks good.
Lots of textures on that as well. With the
yeah. I mean...
Pinless.
Yeah,
I mean... That means nothing to me. I know other people love it.
Brandon's a big fan. He hates pins. He hates them.
I know. I thumbs down the video every week when he mentions it.
So you're the one that does that. I'm joking.
Look, I'm posing this Spider-Man and just look.
I know, but that's shocking. I mean, that's it's not. That's paintless. You know,
this is true.
That could have been solved very simply. But
very true.
They look cool to me. Like, I don't know who they are, but you know, if they were cheap enough, I'd probably buy them. I think they look fun, and like, I think what we're not seeing here is all the stuff they come with, which is always the fun of the Fortnite figures that the other companies have done. So I'm kind of I like seeing them. I'm probably not going to buy them, but I like that they exist, you know?
Do you think they'd be more successful than Hasbro's last venture into the sort of gaming world? Was it Overdrive or something like that? Overwatch, okay. Yeah. Did you get any of them?
I didn't like when I saw them online. I was like, "Oh, these look awesome!" And they came really far down in price. I was like, "I'm going to get these," but then you see what size they are. So it was like the size that killed that line. They weren't really good for action figure photography because they didn't mix with other figures or anything. It was just kind of
shorter than Legends, like shorter than the.
Oh yeah, they were like they'd look great with your character creations Doctor Who figures. You know?
Oh wow, okay, so that's pretty small then. Yeah.
You know, they'd fit in your TARDIS, but that's about it.
All right, so I'm bouncing through these as we talk here. Does this ring any bells visually to you? Do you have what is this?
I mean, that looks like anything that I've seen ever on any anime thing ever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It could be. If you told me that was a new Pokemon, I'd believe you. I'd be like,
absolutely.
Yep, that makes sense. Yep, Sky and Ollie. Brandon, I didn't ask you, but it's because I know the answer. You've never played Fortnite, I assume. Do you even play games? Like, I'm curious to know. Are you a gamer? Ever played games?
And Fortnite's my favorite game.
Yeah, okay. All right, that answers that then. What about Shadow Meow Schools? Meow Schools, is that how you say that?
It's supposed to be muscles.
Yeah. Oh, I see what they did there. Like, clever. Yeah.
I've been seeing that for ages because who was it? Was it McFarlane or
Jazzwares, yeah. They've done a couple.
And I thought it was Meowcles, like Hercules.
That would make sense as well. That would make sense.
Meowsles. But that looks cool as well. I think it was cool.
An evil hench cat. Things of nightmares. Look at that. He looks pretty happy, to be fair. Yeah, okay. So there's, obviously, as you said, the gimmicks to Fortnite are all the crazy accessories, and I think it was Jazzwares that did these Fortnite figures in different scales, but then they'd also do like accessory packs with like random weapons, like you open crates. I've never played Fortnite myself, but obviously I'm aware of how popular it is. So this doesn't surprise me that Hasbro have jumped on this license, but it seems
crowded market though. Like I think that when I go into Smith's, 2 years ago, me goes into Smith's and sees just the whole aisle full of these things, and I'm imagining they can't shift them, and then they turn up in B&M. So I'm kind of like, how is there space in the market for Hasbro to make better? Like, do the people that buy Fortnite figures, do they care about good figures? I don't know if they do. That
would be my sort of thoughts on it as well. Like, I can completely understand the kid appeal, because obviously this is probably some young kids, so this is probably the first game they're playing, like, because all their mates on the playground are talking about it. So the Jazzwares figures are a lot more affordable. I can't really see a parent, like the same way sometimes Legends have to do a basic version of a character because parents don't want to pay £20 for a version of Captain America when there's a £10 version on the shelf, do you know?
Right.
So yeah, I'm on the same wavelength of you, where I think Hasbro will do a good job at the figures, but the market they're going for, like, is it really the type of people that want to buy premium action figures? Because kids, as I said, will just want these characters in figure four when they're not bothered about articulation or what. Well, who knows? But I agree. There's a giant shark as well. I forgot to mention that. Giant shark. Oh, that's where all the weapons go, in the giant shark. Makes complete sense.
I mean, people are good, but I think people will buy that sort of thing more than the figures. I think action figure photographers will be into that sort of thing. Even people who just want something, people will buy that just so they can put Deadpool on top of it and take a photo and like get 100 likes automatically. That's the kind of thing that folk would go for.
So I'm curious what the chat think as well. So we're not going to spend too much longer on this. We're going to try to go through all the brands of Hasbro PulseCon. So Fan Fest, sorry. So yeah, just give us a quick toot or boot. We're doing toot or boot instead of hit and miss today. So you can still use the hit and miss emojis. We know what you mean, but it's toot and boot. What are you saying, Brandon? What's your opinions on these? Like you were sort of just on the same wavelength as us. They look fun, but just not for you.
Yeah, they look fun, but not for me. So, they're okay. I do like the accessories though, like the what they called. The skis look good. The gun looks good. Meowscles. Meowcules is.
It's a better name, Craig. I'm not gonna lie.
His or her or its gym set looks pretty cool. So yeah, and I think the shark will end up being pretty cool. as well for some
Like,
ACBA artists.
Like you said, ACBA, I know that the action figure community will look at these and go, oh, tons of accessories, but I don't really think these accessories would work too well with many other characters. Maybe you can get away with those skis on Deadpool for something, but not other than that, they're not going to really merge into. You can't use them with your G.I. Joes, for example. They're too cartoony.
No. I mean, you'll see is those shots where it's like a stormtrooper, Darth Vader pushing a stormtrooper on a swing, that kind of thing. Darth Vader on these with the Deadpool shorts on the lower half, that kind of thing.
So I'm just jumping to the chat, and people have found that there's a boot emoji, so that's perfect. Okay, so we've got Garrett saying boot, tac toot, Jason toot, Laserpants is saying hit, so that's a toot. So far, so good. Nathan shoot. I don't know if he wants to shoot them or if that's a good thing. I have no idea. It could be a double negative. Rich M with the 2 boots is not happy with this. Cloud Foxwell's found a little saxophone trumpet sort of emoji, so that's a good toot. George says good figs, but a boot for me. Travis says toot. Damien says miss. James says toot. Jamie says toot, but not for me. Joe figured it out, says when are these going up for sale? Only want the weight bench set. I have no idea, my friend, no idea. I'm sure sooner than later, but I don't think Hasbro can officially sell these products until 2022. I think that's what their agreement is with the Fortnite brand. That's why all the pre-orders that have gone up ain't until next year. Like I think they have got a few Fortnite figures up for pre-order, but you ain't going to get them until 2022. So, okay, that was a bit of a mix then. Not as bad, like, bit 50-50, I'd say. Yeah, curious. Okay, does anyone remember what the next brand was? And we will jump straight to Pulse. Transformers, okay.
And then I stopped watching. Because they went on a Power Rangers and I was like, oh, okay, I'm too old. But anyway.
Alright, so if I go to products, I'm hoping it gives it me in a nice... I can filter it via brand. There we go. Transformers, 9 products. Power. So, recently Hasbro sent me a box and it had a few Transformers in it. It had the Megatron, the Beast Wars Megatron. That looks really good. Like, that's something that I probably would have brought myself as well if I wasn't buying so much other crap. So that's going to send me down a Beast Wars rabbit hole, I am sure. But some of these new ones, Craig, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, because you'll know about this much better than me or Brandon, but are this Hot Rod, that's from the movie, or Rodimus Prime's from the movie, Galvatron from the movie, or is it from the new cartoon? Like, explain to us, give us the rundown on these reveals.
So what Transformers are doing at the moment is catering to lots of different, they're really firing on nostalgia, but they're really working with lots of different areas of nostalgia. So you've got the Beast Wars coming in, which maybe hit perhaps you fucking fetus people more in the... I'm
not going to lie. I used to watch it on ITV after school. I remember Beast Wars fondly. On the weird... It was one of the first sort of cartoons that was all CGI. Terrible CGI, but it was one of the first.
You know, it looked like sick on the pavement. But, you know, it looked better than Reboot. And that was...
wow. I remember that as well. Bloody hell, yeah, I remember that.
Pretty cool. But they're doing like the original Transformers the movie, which is generally sort of has a love-hate relationship with fans. But I think what they're importantly doing, rather than just firing on nostalgia, is they are making good figures for the first time in a long time. And that's the key thing. Because they're doing these characters that people... They do them all the time. There's always a Rodimus figure, there's always a Galvatron. But they're making good ones. But this guy, the Ark, is new, and that's going right back to the very start of Transformers, and it keeps coming up throughout Transformers history. But yeah, like, that's a huge slice of nostalgia. No one expected that to ever get made.
So see this panel here that's in the Ark. Does this turn into that?
That's right.
Oh, yeah, nice.
I think it's a separate little robot that comes along with it. I don't know whether it makes up a part of the bigger robot, but yeah.
It's a nice touch. I like it.
So that is Teletran 1 is their talking computer that it would give them all the exposition in every episode. It was kind of like Cerebro in the X-Men. But yeah, so you've got the Ark. That's what they call a Titan class figure, so that's really big.
Yeah, that's impressive. I like it. That's the type of stuff that intrigues me. Have you been buying much of the Siege stuff? Like, what have you been picking up? Just bits and bobs?
I've kind of really stayed away from Transformers because the toys have been naff for such a long time. But I bought recently a Hot Rod figure and then a couple of other Decepticons, and they were really good. So I'm really quite into them.
Yeah.
Then you've got your Optimus Prime. Which one is that?
This is the very first Siege one. I've just got a couple of those weapon do you know those little mini packs that are like mini robots that turn into the weapons? Like, I just went through a rabbit hole of buying all of them. So, but yeah,
it is a dangerous rabbit hole.
I've just got one shelf of Siege Transformers, and it does look like a fun display though. Like, I've showed it off on the camera last week. Let me grab this. It's not very lit over here, but do you know, like, just one little shelf, but it just pops. Do you know, it's very colourful.
Yeah.
Bumblebee.
I've got RC.
Yeah, and then some of the bad guys over there. Starscream, Soundwave, Megatron. But yeah, I've just got one little shelf. I don't know. Like, Transformers wasn't something I was massively into as a kid. So, like, obviously I'm aware of the bigger, the mainstream characters, but some like Grapple and Stinger, like Impactor. These are ones that I didn't really know, but I just like the look of the colours and the figures. So I've just been picking them up casually. So yeah, I'm a fan of these, and I like the look of that arc, but I don't know if I like it for 150 quid. But I like it. I mean,
that's it, and it's the same with that Rodimus Prime. When they first revealed, or he was leaked, I was like, I have to get it, and then £85, I was like, I don't have to get it. I was like,
I think there's a version of this guy without all the extra stuff.
His small before he becomes Prime, he's Hot Rod, and that's I got that figure, and it's like £34 or something, and it's really, really good. It's maybe my figure of the year so far. Is the Hot Rod figure they've made.
Quick question, sorry. Does Hot Rod become Rodimus Prime?
Well, spoilers for the Transformers movie from 1986.
so I don't know how I know that, but for some reason, my brain, just as I was listening, it kind of just put
Craig did say it about
there's Hot Rod and there's Rodimus Prime, and they look the same, like they look identical. Yeah. So
fair point.
It's like that Palpatine is the Emperor thing. Gasp, who would have thought?
Yeah, everyone knows.
Is he really?
But I think this is a good thing that Transformers do. They have a wide range of prices. Like, if you're into Transformers, you can get, like, they get you with the little one, and then you escalate, and before you know it, you're buying the arc. Yeah, you know, they've got that pattern that perhaps the other toy lines don't have. Like Marvel Legends pretty much sticks around the 20, 30 deluxe figure thing, but they don't ramp it up to the point where you've got an arc-like thing coming out in the shelves, you know?
No, as I said, if out of all of these, the arc's definitely the one that I'm intrigued, but I just don't know if I could drop that money on it. But I like the look at it. But yeah, these look good. These look good. Brandon, we know the score with you. You're a Bay Transformers fan. These characters mean nothing to you. Do you even buy? You've got some of the Studio Series, though, right? I don't think they revealed any at Hasbro Fan Fest, but you've got some of the Studio Series. You said. I remember you said to me one day.
I think they may be Studio Series. I mean, I haven't bought a Transformer in years. Okay. Like, going back, maybe. I think the last Transformer I got was Hound.
Yeah, Hound's a Transformer. Yeah.
Movie Hound.
Yeah,
disgusting.
The military one.
Yeah. With the beard.
Yeah. Played by Roxanne's husband, I think. Whatever his name is. What's his name?
Yeah. And then the other one I think was
You say yeah. You have no idea what Roxanne is.
No.
Exactly.
A song by the Police.
That old sitcom with that Roxanne woman, whatever her name is.
Roseanne.
Okay, John Goodman, right? Am I saying that? Is it John? Yes, John Goodman. There you go. The name came to me eventually. I said her name wrong, but I got John Goodman's name right. He was in that, right? Roseanne.
Probably.
Yeah, he was.
Roseanne was Megatron.
Yeah. Ignore me. Okay, any Transformers fans in the chat? That's what I'm curious to know.
No.
So funny. Wait, AB Nuggler said. Wait, let me quickly find it. He said. Brandon likes Fortnite as a game just as much as he likes Ghostbusters as a movie. His two favorite things in the world. And then just now, he just said, Brandon also loves Reboot and Transformers Beast Wars, by the way, if anyone was wondering.
Brandon, do you know what Reboot is?
No idea.
I don't think he even knows what CGI is. I think he just accepts it's a thing.
CGI?
It's a movie.
Oh, wow.
Those cars actually turn to robots in Brandon's minds. Don't spoil. He's still kicking his tires on his car, waiting for it to transform. Looking at the chat,
I actually had an Autobot. I actually had like an Autobot like badge kind of thing on my car for years. I'm not kidding. I did it genuinely.
I believe you.
Little kids ask me like if it was actually an Autobot. So anyway.
Z-Man says all Beast Wars are fire, Galvatron and Hot Rod movie and cartoon. Just having a look what everyone's saying. Got all the Transformers, says Tyrone. Tyrone, you must have a lot of Transformers then. Got all is a bold statement.
What is it? Me from 1987?
Home Dude says I got Reboot fig from the 90s. Yeah, well, Reboot did have a series of action figures, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, people are saying Power Rangers time, so let's get into that. So, Craig, remind us what's your stance on Power Rangers? I'm assuming you're aware of it, but not a fan.
Yeah, they when did Power Rangers start? What, 94?
93.
They hit me at that time when in your teenage years when you're just too cool for everything.
Of course, yeah.
Like,
we've all been there. Yeah.
So Power Rangers and Pokemon fell in that window that you just can't get into anything because you're far too emotionally mature and dark.
Of course, yeah.
So it just didn't hit with me.
Yeah, well, Power Rangers, this is something Brandon can definitely speak on. But you were disappointed with the reveals, right, Brandon? This isn't what you wanted, just some shiny Multi-Morphin Rangers, right?
Yeah, man, this was a shame. Like, this, well, it wasn't a shame and it was a shame. It was a shame in that, like, I was kind of hoping for something else, you know? I know that Dan was hoping for something really else, really different.
Okay, so I was saying, by the way, just so everyone's on the same page, we were saying in our prediction stream, after the leaked rumours, there's rumours that the Power Ranger Turtle Boom crossover, which I've got here, these would be made in figure form. Now, obviously, I love Turtles. I like Power Rangers. I would have loved this to become a reality. So, but they didn't reveal it here. So that doesn't mean it's not coming. It just means they didn't reveal it here. So, yeah, I was disappointed. But the guy at the start of the stream, I don't know who he was, but he did sort of say right from the get-go, oh, we've only got a couple of reveals. Like, so he sort of lowered your expectations straight away.
Yeah. And I think the cool thing about this was that they had already revealed Cat last year. And in one go, the whole team, done. You know, new portraits, good-looking portraits. I think there was some miscommunication because they said that they wouldn't be showing the portraits, and then they did. I don't know if the portraits are still on. Yeah,
there's Aisha
as well. But I think, to be fair, like, if they were going to do the metallic figures in any kind of, or the metallic suits in any kind of way, I think this was the best way for them to do it. I think they came out really, really nice. I think the glitter works well for what, you know, for what those fans would want. Personally, I finished my Mighty Morphin team. I prefer the original team as opposed to, you know, the upgraded team. I would rather have the upgraded team in the Zeo costumes. So, yeah, I think it's cool. I think the Sentry is really good. I think a lot of people will be happy with that. You know, expanding that Boom comic universe for Power Rangers. Personally, I didn't pick any of these up just because I know that for me personally with Rangers, we basically get the same figure every single time. All we get is a different helmet. All we get is a different.
Yeah, that's the gimmick though. That's the gimmick. We know that.
And that's fine because you know, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And I think that if they were to innovate to something like pinless tech, then it could be jarring because you've got some of the team with pinless tech and some of the team without pinless tech. So I see why they do it the way they're doing it at the moment. I think there is a lot of milking with this line, like a lot of milking, because it is like, I find I get excited when a pre-order goes up for a Ranger that I'm excited for. But then when it arrives, I'm excited, and then I open it, I start to pose it, and I'm like, oh, I posed the same figure, you know, 30 times already.
But that's the gimmick, though, isn't it?
On the shelf and
you know what you're getting yourself in for, though. That's the point. Like, you want to complete these teams.
doesn't mean they can't aim higher. You know,
I guess.
If you're doing the same thing every time, it surely, as action figure makers, it's completely boring. Like these creative people that they're sat on the right hand side, not the left hand side, the marketing people, the right hand side, the creative people of the screen. Like, aren't they bored?
But like Brandon said, if they just say the first year they release figures, they've all got pins on it, but then year 3 they still haven't completed a team, and then they do upgrade whatever they did, and they give you the rest of that team, then for me, you'll have a wonky looking display because you'll have 3 of the characters on the old mold or old design. Do you know what I mean? Like, so it would be hard for them to upgrade their overall books and stuff when they're making the game is just to complete teams, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's because they did this sort of scattershot approach to like someone from this team, someone from that team, someone from that team. It's like, well, now every team is stuck with this crap low bar.
Yeah, I guess so. That's the point. Yeah,
and go up, but they can like this guy that's on the screen just now, Red Sentry, Barbara, whatever his fucking name is. There we are, Morphin Tyrannosaurus Sentry. He looks cool. Like I like he's probably not that much advanced over what they're doing already with that sort of Boom Comics thing, but just because he's got a new design and he's different, he's cool, you know. I think people are more into that than literally buying the same figure. If they want to release the new heads, do the movie costumes and do the new, you know.
I think that's a licensing thing. I think Saban still own the rights to the Power Ranger movie, but I guess I don't know because Hasbro own Power Rangers master license. Do you know what? Don't listen to me. But this Sentry is an army builder, right, Brandon?
Apparently,
so he's meant to, in the comics. He's like, there's an army of these guys essentially. Like, I think again, chat. Correct me if I'm wrong. I've only read the Turtle crossover in the Boom comics. I've not really read anything else. But I do admit I do like the look of the. They, as Craig said, some of the looks are much more interesting. Like as I said, you know straight up it's the Red Ranger, but why has he got a cape? Why does he look a bit different? It's intriguing if you're a fan. You want to know more, and I do like figures that make you do that. I go, it's familiar, but in what way? Z-Man with a super chat. Let Friday read that out. Thank you very much.
£10 through super chat, pal. Thank you, ZMAN12BAT. I would personally love more teams to be explored, and maybe if they wanted to explore more, try some Super Sentai teams, as some did appear in Super Mega Force.
Okay, thank you very much, Z-Man. He says, I'd personally love more teams to be explored, and maybe if they wanted to explore more, try some Super Sentai teams, as some did appear in the Super Mega Force. I don't really... I guess, as I just said a minute ago, I don't really know the licensing issue with the Power Rangers. Like, can they use characters from Super Sentai for the Lightning Collection? I don't know. It's a question for a lawyer, but it's a nice idea. But I'm sure there's going to be plenty of imports and stuff of Super Sentai teams as well. I'm sure SH Figure Arts have done lots of teams as well. But
who would you like to see make the Power Rangers Turtles crossover figures? NECA? Playmates? Hasbro?
Yeah, well, obviously we think Hasbro are doing it now, but I've been buying the NECA Turtle stuff, both movie and cartoon. I stay away from like the arcade or the Mirage comics, but I'll get cartoon and movie. And I've been getting just the Turtles, and I did get Bebop as well. But do you know the Super 7 ones? I'd love to go all in on the Super 7 ones, but again, at £50 a pop, I can't do it when I'm buying everything else. So yeah, let's see what Hasbro can do, especially if they scale with the Mighty Morphin Rangers and Lightning Collection as well. That'd be a nice touch. So yeah, we shall see. As I said, fingers crossed. It is on those leaked rumored lists, and most of the time those leaked lists are just inevitable. We're just waiting for them to be revealed now. So we shall see. They did say they're doing a Power Rangers like Power Month of something. I don't know if it's August or... Can you remember what they said? Yeah. So maybe they're saved like bigger reveals until then. I think Hasbro are doing like branded months. Because I know G.I. Joe have got like G.I. June. I know that sounds ridiculous, but that's what they're doing. Obviously, Marvel will do something soon enough. So we should... Yeah, I know.
I'm remembering the movie G.I. Jane.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. But yeah, Power Rangers, as I said, I was disappointed we didn't get those turtle reveals. And what the one frustrating thing about this, and I'm sure you will both agree on me, right? So Pulse only arrived in the UK in March, right? Previously, the only other metallic Ranger they released was also a Pulse exclusive. It was the Pink Ranger. At that time, UK didn't have a Pulse, and it wasn't offered to any other UK store. Not even places like Comic and Cocktails managed to get their hands on the Pink Ranger. So, yeah, it's great. We've now got Pulse, and these are here. But for me, I've got an incomplete team. How am I going to get the Pink Ranger? So, if Pulse had put, do you know what? And here's a re-release of the Pink Ranger. They might have got me because I can complete one team in a go and have a nice shiny Power Ranger team for the shelf. But now I'm like, okay, even if I pre-order these, I'm going to be chasing the Pink Ranger. So that was the one thing that bugged me. If the Pink Ranger was there, they might have got me. But without the full team, just frustrates me. But yeah, okay, Power Rangers. Interesting. Again, not many reveals. Not many. Just the repaints, really. What's next? What's the next one?
G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe, let's do it. I'm thankfully they're letting me do this by brand as well. Oh, okay, so they didn't actually reveal anything that wasn't movie. Correct me if I'm wrong, one of you two. Did they reveal anything that wasn't movie?
You are not wrong.
Wow, okay, that's a bit disappointing. Major Blood was rumoured, I think. I think his image has been seen on the back of the Lady J and Flint figure, and he's also been on promotional material. But yeah, not to be seen. The only things they revealed were the movie Snake Eyes. Now, Craig, are you a G.I. Joe fan? Are you excited for the new movie? What do these look good?
I am a G.I. Joe fan. Not particularly much of the sort of ninja army side of things. I like the super gay bad guys. If you're wearing a snake on your head, then you're for me. But I really love the G.I. Joe figures. I think they're just so good at the moment for the price point.
Yep.
They're not all unique, but when you get them, they seem unique. Like they've got additional parts, they've got accessories that make them just stand out, and they're really good value for money. I just think they're probably the best action figure line at that price point at the moment.
Who have you picked up so far?
So far, I have Destro, Cobra Commander. What's her name? Baroness. I've got 3 Red Ninjas. I've got a Cobra Trooper. I've got Snake Eyes, and I've got Storm Shadow, and I've got Zartan here in box.
So, which Cobra Commander did you go for? Because there's a couple of them. Have you got the dark blue one?
I think I got the plain one, the dark blue one, and I painted gold bits on them because.
Oh, nice. So
I think with each of them, I've done something to them, like customized them. But that's just the way I roll. And I also got the whatever it was, Comic-Con GI Cobra Commander.
Oh, the black one with the soft goods. I like that one.
It looks like the table covered in a Chinese restaurant. It makes me sick, but I got it.
I've not took it out of the box yet. But I like the way the box sort of panels open.
It's in the box there.
Yeah,
it's there it shall stay.
Yeah, so
these are really good.
So will you be going in for you? If you see are you interested in the movie? And if it's good, are you the type of person that goes, "Oh, I like this, and there's toys available. Shall I buy them?"
You know, I think we all have that when we watch something and we immediately want a figure of it. I think that's just how our minds work. Like, I could be watching a Hammer horror movie from the late 50s, and I'm like, I wish they made action figures of X from outer space. And I'm like, on eBay, has anyone made any? But like these. I was really excited for the G.I. Joe presentation, and then it was like all the movie, and I was like, oh my god, no. Like, it's something that I've not seen yet, and it's characters that I wish they would do. Like Storm Shadow, can we just get a normal Storm Shadow?
Yeah.
Like, can you stop fucking around with us? And just like these designs for me aren't that, you know, wearing a snake on your head with a huge cape, or being called Dr. Mindbender, or having a pet crocodile. Like, these aren't these kind of characters, so I'm not really feeling them. The Snake Eyes does look really good. It probably looks better than the normal Snake Eyes, like all the detailing. Again, it's got that sort of Fortnite action figure feel with all the different textures and stuff.
Thank you very much, Tat. I'll let Friday read that out.
Donated £4.99 through Super Chat. Pal, thank you, Tat Customs. The G.I. Joe fans were out for Major Blood in the comments section, but apparently Big G.I. Joe reveals in June in the classified line.
Yeah, thank you, Mark Tat for the super chat. So he says the G.I. Joe fans were out for Major Blood in the comments section, but apparently Big G.I. Joe reveals in June in the classified line. So yeah, as I said earlier, G.I. June they're calling it, and I think the Full Force podcast, the same way that we got to talk to the Marvel team this week, the other brands have been talking to outlets and whatnot, and I think Full Force did an interview, and it seems that they're going to releasing the Cobra Island figures somewhere else, do you know, so it gives more of a people a chance to get them. So I think Target will probably, for our American friends, Target will probably still be the first place you can get them, but after their initial release they might go up on Pulse or somewhere else. So still hope for people, because I know a lot of people have dropped out of the line because it's just so hard to get. Luckily we're in the UK, we haven't really had, they don't last long, I have to admit, but if you want them, they're there to pre-order straight away. So if you haven't got them in the UK, just you were being a little bit slow, in my opinion, because they were there on many sites for a while. I sort of agree with Craig, by the way, in regards to, I think these figures look great, but I have no attachment to these particular designs yet. I don't know who they are. I'm curious of the film, but I've never even seen the two previous films that came out with The Rock and stuff in it.
I mean, how can you get excited for a G.I. Joe movie? Have you seen the 3 that they did an animated one that was pretty crap, and then they did 2 live action ones that were diabolical?
Yeah, I've not seen them.
How can anyone be excited? And then in the Hasbro Fan Fest, they're like, in theaters in July. I'm like, Nicholas Sturgeon will be the fucking judge of that.
Yeah, no, I think I'll watch this one. I'd give it the chance, but yeah, figures I've not pre-ordered. Usually with the G.I. Joe stuff, as I said, you've got to be quick to it. But these ones I've genuinely not pre-ordered yet because, as I said, no attachment. And the Storm Shadow looks like a cream version of Storm Shadow. Like it's like an ivory version. It just doesn't look right.
It's just milky.
Yeah.
I don't know whether they changed this. Maybe the white. Maybe they had a scene where they fight in the snow. I bet they do, and he didn't show up or something. So
this is probably spot on to the film.
Like when I saw the digital render of it, I was like, "Oh, the details there. That it has all those textures in that, but it just looks like it's that one flat plastic, and it just looks." I mean, he looks like Cum Shadow, let's say it.
Yeah, no. Cum Shadow. He reminds me of an articulated Icons ninja, just with a few added bits. Just aesthetically, it looks like that, but as you said, the Cum Shadow version. But yeah,
it doesn't even really look like the colour that's on the box.
I just wish they would pose better in these promo shots.
Oh, well, they were all about how awesome these photos were during the presentation. I was like,
because he's dangling. He's dangling.
Yeah, but like,
you're not impressed.
The posing in these. Yeah, but look. If he go back one,
his knee is up and his arm, the same knee and arm are up, and that's like ACBA 101. No,
yes,
it's the opposite arm.
And as well, if you're hanging there, like think about it for a second. If you're
hang on, Blake with the super chat. Hold that thought. Thank you, Blake. Let Friday read that out.
Through super chat, pal. Thank you, Blake Qualman. Goo animated movies in the 80s was amazing, better than the Transformers. Cobra la 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 la.
It says GU animated movies in the 80s were amazing, better than the Transformers. Cobra la 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 la.
La 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 la. I think
that's better.
It's from the movie.
That's better. Friday just said it really robotically, but thank you, Blake. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's come back out of these. So Brandon, you didn't go for any of these either, but would you, if you seen the film and you liked the film, would then again, like me and Craig said, would it make you itchy, or are you just completely ignoring these?
I like Henry Golding as an actor, so I'd be tempted by
Snake Eyes.
I'd be tempted by Snake Eyes. But I really but then the thing is that you think, well, if you get Snake Eyes, then you have to get Storm Shadow for him, because otherwise, what's the point in Snake Eyes? You have to have one versus the other. but I just. But then I'm like, would I rather spend £40 on these two, or would I rather spend £40 on another Hasbro line, or that produce stuff that I actually care about?
Or do you want a Dark Star? Is the question.
Yeah, I think the thing is that it just these were okay. I just think that everything from the brands apart from Marvel was just a bit mediocre.
Would you say? Would you as a
just a bit?
I agree. Would you say that this Snake Eyes, for example, without the unmasked head, this Snake Eyes could fit in your current collection as the classified series Snake Eyes, if you preferred this look?
It would go bubble wrapped in a box until I was ready on one Saturday afternoon to take photos of it. That's it.
Fair enough.
Like I don't mean to bring the mood down on it, but I just.
You're a hater.
Yeah, what a hater.
I don't have time for haters.
If Craig calls you a hater, then you must be a negative guy.
Yeah.
Can I
because I agree with Craig though that the classified line generally, like those Cobra Island troopers are like some of the best army builders that there has been. Like they are just so good. The parts, the way that they look, the posability, the fun factor, the price point, is just fantastic. These were just okay. I mean, we didn't even get a teaser. This film is like less than 3 months out, I think.
Doesn't this, by the way, look exactly like the actual Scarlet figure as well?
Yeah.
Like, this is meant to be the movie Scarlet, but it looks exactly like the current classified Scarlet, right?
Yeah, I don't think that the likeness really matched. I don't think Baroness looks that great.
It just looks like the Scarlet we've already got.
I mean, yeah, it's all good. I mean, I think we should just like skip to the good brands.
Okay, cool. Let's jump to it.
Because I'm bored of the mediocrity that the other brands brought on for FanFest. Because that was my only gripe, right?
It's Marvel next. Are you skipping Marvel?
We'll save Marvel to laugh. We'll save that Marvel.
Yeah, save the best for last because I've got my own venting to do about FanFest for Black Series. But I just think generally it was like they hyped it up that And I went back and watched PulseCon right over the last weekend, and I think Black Series had announced. PulseCon, I think they announced maybe 15 figures. I think off the top of my head, I think they announced 2 from the prequels, 1 from the originals, 1 from the sequels. Then they did the 4 archive figures, so that's 4, 8, and then I think they did the 5 troopers that they did in that Christmas line. So what I'm saying is that it's like they revealed at least 10, 12, 14, 15 figures, right, at PulseCon. Most of which we didn't know about, hadn't seen before or anything like that, hadn't had teasers about. FanFest, they were marketing it and pushing it that it would be a PulseCon-like event, and all we got was like 4 or 5 figures that we were told about 2 months ago. Now I get it that they're waiting on May the 4th to go big. Well, I hope that they will go big with reveals, but this was just like, oh. Okay.
I think last year though, like just think lockdown happened, the world went to shit like in March, April. So a lot of their plans, like no one knew what was going on. No one knew if the world would open back up. No one knew if things would happen. So like last year they probably had a lot more waiting to be shown because it was meant to be released somewhere else, where this year they've had more time to prepare. So they already know Comic-Con's not happening. They already know. So they're starting to, like, they've released stuff. They've released only a few bits here. So they still have, like, fan first Fridays and stuff. Do you know, like, they're holding it back. They're like, they've planned out the year better this year. So we're not going to get hit with loads at once. We're going to get like, oh, here's a fan fest, and now here's a PulseCon, and then here's another gimmick, and they're just trickle it out slowly. So I completely get your point, and I agree with you. But but I do think they hyped it up. Like they sent me boxes of toys for the first time ever. Do you know what I mean? I thought this was going to be a massive deal. And again, like as I said, a couple of Power Rangers, and as I said, I'm biased, but Marvel did have the best showing. But Star Wars, Craig. Where are you at with Star Wars? You a Mandalorian fan? You've been buying any of these?
I mean, much like the G.I. Joe thing, the Mandalorian is really not my area of Star Wars. I'm into the campness. I'm into like the Emperor laughing and going arse over tit over the back of his chair, shooting lightning everywhere. I'm into absolute nonsense. But Mandalorian's very grounded, very macho sort of thing, which I'm just like this kind of personality free. bounty hunter. I know he's not personality free. I'm just exaggerating things.
Did you watch it though? You have watched the show.
Yeah, Of course.
Yeah.
I have to keep up with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like with Star Wars, I don't really know what I buy and what I don't buy. I buy the villains mostly. I've never really got into like the Clone Wars, or any of that. I didn't really. So it's really just the movies for me, I guess. I don't really know, but I mean, I think with the Star Wars presentation though, like it's like you say, they're holding out for whatever, May the 4th or Force Friday or whatever event they choose to sort of do things at. And I think this sort of fan fest was more about getting. It seemed to be more of a social media experiment, almost. Like, actually, Hasbro have not really engaged with fans publicly that much. We've been asking them to do it for a long time. So it was really interesting to see them pull people on board. And I think some of the brands sort of got pulled in with not much to reveal. They were like, do we have to? We've not got anything. They're like, just what have you got? Just reveal that and make it 30 minutes and say, do the hands, we are very proud and please do reveal.
They do that, don't they? They
do that a lot. It's like, I'm not reading a script. This is straight off the top of my head while looking up at the ceiling for the script. So yeah, it was, this was underwhelming. Star Wars. I didn't get a bib for Tuna, so you know what? Fuck them.
Did anything here intrigue you? Any of these reveals at all?
If it's not in the Black Series, like honestly, get back to 1983. I just don't. I don't want anything to do with you.
What about Zero, little boogie robot, voiced by what's his name, Adewadi or whatever his name is?
Richard.
There you go, Richard Adewadi. I quite like him. Z-Man with another super chat. Thank you very much.
BAT donated £5 through super chat. How thank you ZMAN12BAT. Definitely need a Star Killer figure as boy he would sell, as well as his Jedi and Sith looks a dope. Plus Ron Cota needs a figure.
Thank you very much, Z-Man. So he says definitely need a Star Killer figure as boy he would sell, as well as the Jedi and Sith looks a dope. Plus Rum Cota needs a figure. Anyone know who Rum Cota is?
That's my uncle.
Oh, there you go. Craig's uncle needs a figure. Brandon, who's Rum Cota? Do you know?
I'm trying to see how he spelled it.
Fake fans. We are fake fans. We don't know who Ramkota is.
I don't claim to be the biggest Star Wars guy. I'm a casual live action fan, but I've never read the books, never read the comics. I'm just like, I remember I was introduced to Star Wars with my granddad sitting me down, telling me to watch this film. And what I like about Star Wars now is that when the new films came out, I took my granddad to see the new films. So it was like, he introduced me to them as a kid on VHS, and then when the new ones came out, I got to take him to the cinema to see them. So Star Wars has that little sentimental value to me. But like you said, Craig, I don't really know what I collect in Star Wars. Like, I do buy the occasional Star Wars figure, but I don't have a display for them yet. Like, in my head, I'm buying figures to build out this epic display of like the original trilogy, and then currently I've got Mandalorian, but they're all in boxes upstairs. Like, I ain't took them out. But in my head, the display's there. Like, I need that for the display. I need a couple more stormtroopers. Why? They're just going to sit in a box. But
they got you, gal. That's it. But Nerf Herder is saying Ramkota is a Jedi from the Force Unleashed game, so he would go with Star Killer that Z-Man 12 Bat was talking about.
Yeah, the gamer sort of vibe ones. There you go. There's a gaming great one, and they do release they've released that other geezer as well. That's a star. I don't know his name, but there's been a couple of gaming. Oh no, that probably not that one. That's a vintage one. That's how much I know people. I do know her though, but I know it because of Mandalorian, of course, but also because it's Sasha Banks from WWE. I like the head sculpt on this, by the way. I think they've done a decent job on that. I pre-ordered one of these to stand next to my Bo-Katan that I've got. I actually do have Bo-Katan on the shelf, so I said I've got no on display, but she's there standing next to Mando. This is a very nice finger. This actually, this looks like Katie Sackhoff has just been shrunken down into figure form. This head sculpt is really impressive.
Desperate for money, she'd probably actually get on your shelf herself and do that. Sorry, Katie, I know you're in the chat.
He doesn't mean it, Katie. He's a fan. Right, okay. So that I pre-ordered that, and I pre-ordered the robot, the Zero one, because they're both obviously Mando ones, but I didn't go for anything else. I like the look of her, this one here, but I don't know who it is. Another super chat with Tac Tac.
Tac Tac Customs donated £4.
Thank you. Let Friday read that.
Through super chat, pal. Thank you, Tac Tac Customs. I love her. 6-inch Old Republic trooper, but the villains are really interesting, as Craig says.
Yep, thank you, Cat Tac. He says, I'd love a 6-inch Old Republic trooper, but the villains are really interesting, as Craig says. Yeah, I agree. I've got probably more villains. I started off buying Star Wars because I went after all of the bounty hunters, because they slowly got all the bounty hunters. Do you know from Return of the Jedi when they're all standing on the ship? What are you saying? You muted. I can't hear you, Craig.
Empire Strikes Back.
There you go. There you go.
Disgusting.
I knew what I meant. That's the main thing. Does anyone know who this woman is on the screen though? This white.
That's Aura Singh.
Of course it is. Do you know any more than reading the name on the page? Yeah, I thought so. She looks cool though.
She's a bounty hunter from the Clone Wars.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
She teams up with a young baby Boba Fett. When he was just an infant, or I say infant, 10, 11, 12, whatever.
See, I've never seen Clone Wars, but I reckon this figure looks good. Brandon, you a fan? Like, is this one you've gone for?
Yeah, this. If you were to ask me, like, what are the top 10 Clone Wars characters you'd like to see in the Black Series, this wouldn't have made it. But I do think it was a great character choice nonetheless. I did pre-order her because I think if you got Cad Bane, if you love the Clone Wars, then this is a character that will just really be part of that world building. I think for your Clone Wars show for sure.
I think she looks cool.
Yeah.
She's not as cool as Psy Snootles in the Rebo band. Like, where the fuck? Like,
I'd buy them.
Psy Snootles. Get rid of this fucking crap.
You've went for this one as well, Brandon, right? Tech. He's the 4 for 5, right?
Yeah. So he's yes, 4 out of 5.
So in simple terms, he's the Donatello of the Bad Batch, right?
Yes. Yeah,
perfect. See, that makes perfect sense to me, and I'm sure it makes perfect sense to everybody else.
The only thing I get confused about with the Bad Batch is for Crosshair and for Tech here, they kind of. It might just be me, but it kind of seems a little whitewashed. Like the skin tone just seems a little bit light for me. But I think they kind of took liberties as well with the going from. It bothers me generally with Black Series when they say we have an animated character and we're going to make it look as if it was realistic, and then it looks nothing like as if it was going to look as if it was realistic. And they kind of butcher it. But, with his helmet on, I think he looks fantastic. He's pinless. He's got some added parts. I think the tools fit onto his belt. I really would have liked them to have made the helmet head, like the lenses, be a little bit translucent so that you could see eyes underneath.
Oh, they're just painted. Yeah. The head is there as well, isn't it? There is an unmasked head. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that would have been really cool.
He comes with a spanner though.
Yeah, that's it. Like good
enough reason to buy it.
Bad Batch generally, they've really gone above and beyond.
What is it? Thanks. Sorry, the missus is bringing me a drink. Sorry.
When you think about like the first 4 figures they did for Clone Wars last year with, or the first 5 I should say, with the Kamino Clone Trooper, Ahsoka's Clone Trooper, and the 2 Mandalorians. The Kamino clone and the 332nd clone, I thought they did quite well in terms of the innovation because it was the newer body. But I think with the Mandalorians and with Ahsoka, they didn't really do them justice. The Mandalorian bodies were the old stodgy kind of bodies, the old Jango body, and I think the Ahsoka she was basically reused from the Rebels Ahsoka from 6 years ago now. So it's refreshing that with the Bad Batch they've really gone above and beyond from the offset. Like these are definitive figures for the main characters by far.
I think that's because they've got a series coming out or something. So I think they really want to put that effort in and make that work.
I think for Disney Plus, the Bad Batch fills the void between Falcon and Winter Soldier and Loki. I think is that right, Brandon?
It does, yeah. It does, yeah. But it just, I think as well because it's a new franchise. That's why they're going big on it as well. Because I mean, Clone Wars season 7 was huge for Disney Plus. It was one of the biggest selling points for Disney Plus last year. And yeah, they kind of just dropped the ball on it a little bit because they released the figure 6 months after the finale episode. So whereas this, we're getting them ahead of time. We're getting them after it's.
But they did debut. They have debuted in the Clone Wars, though, right? So you have seen,
Yes.
you know who these characters are. So they had a little bit of a heads up, probably, that the series was coming. Craig, do you watch the animated stuff?
Oh, I'm trying to think now. Do I?
Rebels,
Clone Wars.
I
think I watched the first season of Rebels because it had Grand Moff Tarkin in it, Peter Cushing. It was a guy doing a decent impression of him. Much better than the guy who did the impression of him in Rogue One, which was terrible. I love Peter Cushing. But yeah, it had the bad guys in it. The Inquisitors, all that. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Rebels, don't really care that much. Bad guys, yeah.
Yeah,
Tarkin is in Bad Batch as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so someone like me who's never watched Rebels, never watched Clone Wars, could I watch Bad Batch? Could I watch like episode 1 of Bad Batch and not be lost? Or would I need to watch?
So. I would say so. The premiere episode, I think they said, is 73 minutes.
So it's like a mini movie type thing.
Yeah, and that premieres on May the 4th, and then the weekly episodes begin starting May the
4th. I like what they did there. There.
So yeah, so I would say so because I think it looks to be that it's the Bad Batch's story, and I think that it's set in a time of Star Wars that we haven't really seen immediately after the fall of the Republic. You know, immediately after or as Order 66 happens. So, you know, how did the Empire kind of overnight toss out the Republic?
Yeah. All right, I'm jumping to Marvel now. Something I can definitely comment on. All right, let's go to it. This is where we definitely tooting and booting. I want to know what Craig thinks about these. I think there's going to be a get your boot emojis ready, people. All right.
Is Dwight in the chat?
Right, let's start at Darkstar. Are your boot emojis ready, people? Are you ready? Okay, so Darkstar, part of the Winter Guard, of course. She's a perfect choice for this wave, considering Major's the Build-A-Bear, the Build-A-Figure, because they're part of the same team, and just these two in this wave alone has risen the price of Red Guardian, I'm sure, because that guy was a peg warmer for a while, but I guarantee you he's gone up on eBay right now. But yeah,
about 5 of them. People are welcome to come to my house and just take them.
Yeah, I definitely. That was one of those figures that went down really cheap. But Marvel occasionally do that, where you think when you start getting other members from a team, the first figure that was released is usually the hardest one to get. So we shall see how long that lasts. But Darkstar. So first question, I guess, Craig, is: are you a fan of the character? And what do you think of the figure?
I really don't have that much of a huge connection to Darkstar. Like, she's always kind of in the background. She rocks up, fires her Dark Force around. She gets shot dead in an issue of New X-Men by a Weapon Plus thing, and then is strangely back to life at another point. You know, whatever. I mean, the figure is... What else can you do with Darkstar, really? Like, it's what Darkstar is, but at the same time, that female body is just it's a sin. It's 2021. That thing is it was crap when Misty Knight rocked up on it. It's crap now. It's I mean, there's nothing more you can do with Darkstar with what they've got. She's you know, she's the Jean Grey of this wave, like Sugarman wave, like, because she is basically the accessory to the giant Build-A-Figure pieces you need to build. I mean, at least Jean Grey had like sculpting in the shoulders.
Yeah. But she comes with 3 sets of hands, Craig. 3 sets of hands.
You know, I've already got 400 sets of those hands. I don't need another 3 sets of them, and no Dark Force effects at all. Yeah. Nothing.
So I completely get what you're saying with the figure, but you know me, like, I'm easily pleased when it's a character that I don't have on my shelf yet. I'm happy to have them represented on my shelf, especially when I can build out a team like the Winter Guard as well. So I'm happy to add her to the shelf just for the uniqueness alone. But I completely get your points. Brandon, where are you sitting with Darkstar? Are you a fan of the Winter Guard? Will you be picking her up?
I don't I'm not too familiar with the Winter Guard. I did have Red Guardian once upon a time.
Russian Avengers. That's all you need to know.
Yeah. And I did have Red Guardian once upon a time, but then just for lack of shelf space, I don't have them anymore. And that's why as well I won't really be starting this team or continuing with this team personally. But when I look at it objectively as a figure, yes, I think she's a great accessory to the Build-A-Figure part.
So major, yeah.
She also has 3 interchangeable pairs of hands. Like that's solid.
Yeah, it's nice. It's, as I said, like I mentioned that to Hasbro when I did my interview. I was like, can we get like deluxe? Will the deluxe packaging sort of frame be used for more accessories for smaller figures? And I used Spider-Man as an example.
Is that a Dragon Man on the back of her box?
Attacking her, it could be. Big orange, purple dragony man, maybe. That artist who does this, he posts them all on Instagram, so I'm sure.
I'm more interested in the back of the packet than I am the figure inside it.
I do love seeing packaged shots though, because it's just polished, nice. You know they're coming soon.
Yeah.
So I do love it when we see a wave revealed, and we've got these images, we know they're around the corner. So as I said, they're probably on the way to MCU Collector's House right now. But yeah, Darkstar. Okay, let's do it. So we're definitely tooting and booting on these. I think I've seen people in the chat already starting doing it. So let me scroll up and see what we said. So Cloud Foxwell with the horns out, and same with Rich M. So toot from them. Air Extreme with a hit. Pogo B, it says toot boot. Hey, that's confusing. It's one of each. They are all passes for me, says Bold Gambit. Z-Man with the lots of hits and a toot. Might have to hit my shop for a Red Guardian, says Cloud Foxwell. Travis for a B74 says toot for the whole wave. Tanner says toot. John Stan says toot. Tac says boot for Darkstar, unfortunately. Javi Man with the little toot. I think he's got a little speaker there. That's definitely a toot. Abnuggler says, boot. I was a bit underwhelmed with the reveals. I've only pre-ordered Modular Iron Man. Iron Man. And for 2012 with the toot. I like he's got a little saxophone emoji. I appreciate that. And Nerf Herder with the boots. So yeah, bit of mixed, but I understand. But as I said, if you're like me, you just like adding those new characters to your shelf, because she's just going to be standing on the shelf anyway for me. So I'm not very good with ACBA, Craig. I don't know if you knew that fact about me. But okay, let me scroll back. Hopefully, it just takes me back to the page.
Queen
boot. Yeah. Brandon, I'm assuming you're a boot as well. Sorry, I should have asked you to that as well as started the chat.
I'm neither here nor there. Like,
no, you got to commit, Brandon. We're live on YouTube. This is going to live forever.
Then I will say two. Actually.
Oh, good. See, there's the positive Brandon that I know. That's more like it. So, okay.
I thought I was the cocksucker in the room. Come on.
I've not been positive. It's that the other brands dropped the ball and Marvel brought the heat like they always
to be
do.
fair, during the rounds, Hasbro did say, I think they said it in Shartamus's interview, that they are retooling like an all new female mold, which is toolless. What am I talking about? Which is pinless, which will have the double articulation elbow range without actually having the double articulated elbows, because Dwight's not a fan of that at all. So
and not just that, but sorry to cut you down, but if you were genuinely interested in this character and you got the figure, because let's face it, right? Like there are some other A-list characters that could have got figures by now that haven't, but this character has. She's finally made it into the line, so I'd be grateful for that. And then the fact that she's got 3 pairs of hands, which means that I can have she's more versatile for how I would want to pose her, whether that be for ACBA or on the shelf. I'd take it. It's not Riri, but I'd take it.
Okay, we'll move on to Ryu. I'm just going to have a quick look, see if I can get that stop animation. Have you two seen it?
Oh.
Yes.
The stop of this wave. I'm going to try and get it up now, Craig, and play it on the screen. It's a really, really good stop animation of this whole wave that Hasbro have paid at one of the. He's an Instagrammer, but he's absolute fire. Okay, let me see if I can move this over to here. I think Dan Yun posted it as well. So hang on, I don't know how well you can see that.
Yeah, see it fine. It's great.
Okay. Let me scroll back. There is some sound, but it's just sound effects. Okay, so I'm playing it. I think the YouTube people can see it as well. I hope they can. Yeah, they can. This is on Dan Yun's Instagram, but it has been posted on his Twitter. But this has been posted all over the place. It's officially released by Hasbro as well. So Hasbro must have commissioned this guy to do this. He does a lot of wrestling stuff as well. I think that's how he got into it. He did like AEW adverts and stuff. But I think this is really nice. I'd love to have the time and patience to do a little setup like that. But yeah, looks good. I'd love to give the guy a shout out. Someone in the comments write this guy's name because I know he's.
Is it D?
There you go.
DX.
Yeah, there you go. It's right there. I didn't even see it. There you go. This geezer here. So DG DX animation. Bravo, my friend. Beautiful. You are a patient man because that must have took a lot of time. So bravo, looking good. Okay, back to Pulse. Let's go to Riri. Now this has got to be a toot for Brandon. So Brandon, we'll start with you. Riri Williams. So it seems to be a new mold from what they said. Not going to be the first time they use this, I'm sure, because I know she's got a Mark 2 or 3 already. But this is how she started in the comics, I believe. And they came with the interchangeable head as well. They could have cheaped out and not gave us the interchangeable head, but I'm glad they did. I think she looks good. Young Avengers, she's going to be a big deal, like in like I say pop culture, but Disney Plus and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like she's going to be thrown in front of a lot of people's eyes that were probably unfamiliar. So yeah, why not jump on her now in figure form? What are you thinking, Brandon?
I'm thinking that this was just phenomenal. This was one I was looking forward to the most from the leaked list that come out from Rectangular and Fwoosh, etc. And because we'd seen Ultron already. The fact that she's all new sculpt is amazing. The fact that she has double pins double knees and double elbows is pretty good. The fact that she has no pins is amazing. I just think it looks clean, man. And I think it's figures like this that are really closing the gap between imports and the Hasbro lines. Because especially like if you compare this to Bo-Katan as well, just over on the pinless female body sculpt, why pay like £60 or £80 for like the new SH Figure Arts Gamora, for example, when there are parts to that figure that aren't as nice, it doesn't scale with other mainstream lines. But then you come to something like this, I think the value for money is just unbelievable. You get the interchangeable hands, you get the new blast effects with the smoke kind of wheeling around. I think they would be better on the feet as opposed to on the hands. It's more like a jet stream kind of thing. I think
they're new, ain't they, as well? I've never seen them before.
Yeah.
No. And I think the helmetless sculpt is really good. I love the way the hair sculpt drops down. I really like this character personally. I know she got some heat when she first hit the books, but I think that a lot of people will be eating their words once her Disney Plus series drops, once her character develops within the MCU. I think this character has a bright future, and I'm so hyped that they're bringing this to the Legends line. And that body, just repaint it into the Mark III, purpley, pinky, grey colours. I'm in.
Yeah,
give me an alternate
matter of time, innit?
Riri head. I'm master.
Different
options for her.
Dwight even said, didn't he? It's going to be the first. It's only the first of many already, so I'm sure that's coming. Craig, what are you thinking? Are you familiar with the character first and foremost?
I haven't read much of Riri. Like she's turned up in comics I've read, but I've never built any connection to her. But I've built a connection to her based on the amount of hate that she has got for no fucking good reason from complete pricks who ruin what comics and superheroes are all about. So I'm fully there for this. I'm, like I say, no connection really to the character, but fuck those guys and more of these characters, please. This is what Marvel's about. Love the figure itself, looks really great. Like everything Brandon said, the sculpt is really, really good. I'm not quite there with it's putting imports to matching them quite yet. It's not quite there, but I get where you're coming from. And I hope that the final figure can have that really nice candy sports car look on it and doesn't come out like every other Iron Man figure, like that shimmery
Yeah,
plastic,
like that sort of ruby red. It looks really nice in the promo images, but when you get it, it's like a ruby-ish. I know what you're saying there.
That kind of like the sort of, it's had the saturation sucked out of it, which is, you know, this is a photo. You know, it's obviously doctored in some ways. That's fine. I think it's a great figure. I would like them to solve the problem of having a massive hole in the palm of your hand when you don't have a repulsor blast. I hope that she have swivels in her wrists, because the Iron Man figures have hinges rather, like in a repulsor wrist. The Iron Man figures.
Weirdly, I cannot tell. It doesn't look like there's anything there, to be honest.
That just freaks me out. Like, we'll just put a hinge in there. Come on.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there is, because her hands pose that way as well, isn't it? And you'd think they wouldn't. Yeah, so I don't think there is a hinge.
This is a total toot for me. Like, it's a huge amount of effort for them when they didn't need to. They could have done that head and put it on the rescue figure that no one has. And
it's true. They could have done that. You're right. Yeah.
So the one that came with Marvel Unlimited 1 year.
Yep.
That was. Yep. So, but I like the new swirly effects. They'll be useful. You know. This is a toot for me. Yeah,
I agree with everything you're saying. To I think, like you were saying with the Marvel stuff, I think a lot of people, from what I was reading and stuff, because I was reading Iron Man, Invincible Iron Man at the time, and she would like just be on the odd panel, like she would be like a side story that she's slowly building her own armor type thing, because obviously she was inevitably gonna take over the Iron Man mantle within the comics. So I remember when I might even have her first appearance in the comics upstairs somewhere, because it was in an Invincible Iron Man book. But yeah, the argument Marvel fans were saying was diversity for diversity's sake, but that's people that aren't reading the stories. Do you know, like they don't.
You know what? Diversity for diversity's sake. Great.
Yeah.
Tanner Uzel.
Thank you, Tanner, for the super chat. Much appreciated. Let Friday read that out.
Uzel. This wave has got me wanting to start a 616 Hall of Armor display.
Thank you very much, Tanner. He said, this wave has got me wanting to start this is how Friday read it, by the way, 616 Hall of Armor display. But we all know he means the 616, of course. Honestly, this is a great wave to start it as well, because you get a nice couple of armors. But as I said, I've been building a Hall of Armor since the get-go, people. It's right up there. But now I need to build like a little comic section, because now we've got with the version that's going to be in the Shang-Chi wave, and then the stealth version in here. Now we've got like 4 different variants of the same armor, which I like aesthetically. How it's the same armor tweaked in color would make a nice display. So yeah, I agree, Tanner. And I just want to quickly bounce to the comments, because my missus writ in the comments, don't worry, I know Dan spends £1,000,000, whatever she writ, on plastic crack, trying to fob me off, telling me he got Turtles cheaper on pre-order. So she clearly went back and listened to the start of the stream, Brandon, and just so it's out there in the public, I genuinely did get them cheaper for £60 a pop, all right? Facts. So I never lied.
$59.99.
No, it's cheaper than that, all right? And we'll move on. But definitely I didn't pay £60 a pop. I wasn't lying. We're moving on. Okay, so a lot of people in the chat are saying toot. We've got a lot of toot and hits. I haven't seen anyone say miss yet regarding. We got a super toot from Jamie. Extreme with a toot. Mark Tat says, Amanda, brilliant comment. I don't appreciate that, Mark Tat. You're meant to be my friend. Yeah, lots of toots. Honestly, I'm scrolling down here and not singing a single boot. So that's a good sign for Riri Williams. No relation, of course, but great second name, I have to admit.
Riri's my favourite William. Sorry, Dan.
Oh, boo. I can just kick you out. Me and Craig can finish this, you know. It's all good. Right, okay, next up. Talking about Iron Man, let's go to this one. So this is the holographic Iron Man. So I'll start with this, and I like the idea of having an all-translucent AI Iron Man. I just personally don't like the execution. I don't like the mold they've chose. They have seemed to have gone with the Mark 47.
Is this Civil War?
No, it's
46 and Civil War 47.
Yeah, they're the same. You're right. They're the same, yeah. So I'm thinking of the Homecoming one, but you're right. It's the 46 and 47. So yeah, it's the movie Iron Man armor. So if they had done the stealth or the 80th Iron Man armor in this type of color or this type of plastic, whatever you want to say, I would have liked it a lot more than it is. I still don't hate this, but I just don't like that they've chose for a comic version of the character, they've used a theatrical mold. So aesthetically for me, it's going to bug me if it's on my comic shelf when I know it's the same mold as what's on my movie shelf. I know that's silly, but that's how my brain works. But I like the idea. I just wish they chose the better 80th anniversary mold for it.
I just would have loved like a civilian Tony Stark.
Yeah, I'm just scrolling through now. We don't get anything with it, do we? So in one of the Marvel interviews, by the way, do you know, like in the Shang-Chi wave that's not officially been revealed yet, but that Iron Man has, the Iron Man with the holographic head, someone asked, I can't remember who it was, but someone asked him the Marvel interviews if the colours of the blue match, so you can pop it on here. And Dwight doesn't think they match, and he also doesn't think that the actual ball peg is the same size either. So anyone thinking to do that with the AI Tony Stark head on this body, it's not going to work, unfortunately. So
it said that was at the beginning when they weren't in the office anymore.
Yeah.
So like they weren't able to.
It wasn't even something they thought of. Yeah. So were you thinking of this, Brandon? You a fan? Did you like the idea like me, but wish they chose a different mold, or?
I think. I mean, I'm trying to think. How do I say this nicely? I wouldn't. I'm playing with Tony. Sorry. I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have put it on this body. Like as far as Iron Man bodies go, this is like number one on the bad list. Like I think. Yeah, I sold my Mark 46 and 47. I don't have either of those anymore. Just because it's a bad body. Like they could have put it on the Mark 7, even the Mark 42 body. I would have taken it a little bit better. But personally, though, I'm only booting this because I was really hoping for a fully civilian look AI translucent blue plastic Tony to pair along with Riri.
Yeah, that would have been great. That would have been perfect for this wave. Yeah.
That would have been so ideal, and then I would have gotten that along with Riri and one of the others in the wave. But yeah, so this is cool, but it would be $10 by the end of it.
I am curious why they picked this. Yeah, I would be curious to know why they picked this body mold over the many other Iron Man ones they have. Craig, what are you thinking about this? Do you like the concept? Like the figure?
It's fucking garbage.
Yeah,
can't stand it. Everything about it is completely stupid. The only thing I like about it is that they haven't just made a translucent blue figure. They've gone in and put that detailing on it. And I think that sort of elevates it a little. But the fact that they've got a translucent holographic Tony head on another figure that doesn't go on this figure, that you have to buy separately. Like, this is where that translucent Tony head sits. And then we can put it on another Iron Man body that we already have. Why not that? And then, like, this, I bet those blue lines aren't on the fucking back of this figure. I bet this is a Build-A-Figure Ultron.
Yeah, didn't paint the back. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, this is this lazy shit. It's the armor, makes no sense. Like you say, it wasn't even a good figure in the first place. And then it's got repulsor blasts and like so that it can it's a hologram. It's a light projection. What the fuck? Where are those blasts? What's going on? What is it doing? It's like it would need to get in a car to go like what? What the fuck? It's a good job it comes with the head of the Build-A-Figure is all that.
That seems to be the voice of the chat as well. A lot of people in the chat are saying it comes with the Ursa Major head. So obviously if you want to build Ursa Major, it's one you can't skip. But it's probably one that's going to be on eBay straight after they've got the head that they want. But again, I like the concept. I like the idea of having an AI Iron Man for the shelf. I just don't understand why they went for this particular mold.
It was very interesting that, Dwight is always he's not the marketing guy of that team, and you can see why. He was like, you know what, guys, we know this is shit. There were a lot of challenges. Like, we had to really work out how to. He was like, I'm trying to sell this fucking turd to you so hard right now. We're like, I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot more than we are so proud and so delighted to finally reveal holographic armor Iron Man. Like, he was like, okay, this is filling out the wave. We're sorry. This is what it is. And I took Dwight for that. I bought the figure because if you don't boot the figure, I don't know. Like,
I'm looking at the chat.
Where your priorities are.
No,
I don't know where your priorities are if you toot this figure.
If you're in the chat now, let us know toot or boot, as I said, because I don't think many people have commented on this one. I'm curious where the chat feels. I think a few people have said that as soon as I told them that the head from the AI one doesn't fit on here, I think I've seen a few comments saying, "Oh, I'm not buying this then," because that was probably an idea a lot of people had. But yeah, very curious to what you think. I'm going to pull up the other thing.
A bit of blue tack would sort it all out.
If
you want to do that, go for it. But if you're not going to get the Build-A-Figure, don't buy that figure. Like, don't get that holographic armor. Let it be a lesson. Let it peg one.
All right, before we talk about Ultron, and I'll start with Craig on this one because it's a big bad, and I know Craig's a fan. But let's see what the chat are saying about that, while they catch up with us. So we do got a hit by Mason, boot by Jay Darko. I don't know, said Frog Knuckles. We get a little bear logo from Cloud Foxwell, so I'm guessing that means he's buying it for the Ursa Major. Boot by Pogo. Boot by To Catch a Legend. Mini Plastic Multiverse says boot, except the Ursa Major head. Strident says miss. If it glows, toot, says Home Dude. It doesn't glow, I'm afraid.
It don't.
Boots says Frobber Fett with the little boot emoji, which I've come to enjoy. 425 says the fig toot, the Ursa Major head. Oh, the boot for the fig, toot for the Ursa Major head. Yeah, I get it. This whole Iron Man wave is fire, says Colossal Customs. What's up, Wolfpackers? Miguel's in the house. How you doing, my friend? Hope you had fun on your toy hunting adventures earlier. Frog Knuckles says Ultron has me drooling. Okay, so let's just get straight to Ultron and let us know what you think of Ultron. Toot and boot it in the comments right now as we're talking about it, and I'll read a couple out. So, Craig, Ultron, classic Ultron for the first time in a while for Hasbro. What are we saying?
This is Ultron 11 for those in the don't know. This is from Secret Wars, and Secret Wars was pretty much what introduced me to Marvel Comics. So this guy he's beyond a toot. He's a, what is he to say? He's a salute. Salute. Yeah, I mean, this looks great to me. He's got a waist swivel and he's got an upper body swivel as well.
Yeah, seems that way, yeah. Yep.
And he's got the shoulder pads that rotate round. Ultron is a complete maniac. Love him. He's got the Kirby Crackle mouth. He looks great. Let's hope the plastic turns out nice. Yeah, this is salute. Finally, Ultron and Marvel Legends. They've fucked about with him for 20 years now. So it's good to see him finally here.
I'm also happy with this one. I expected this one to be a deluxe figure. I didn't think we'd see it in a Build-A-Figure wave, to be honest. But they've at least packed in, like you said, the Kirby Crackle and a couple of interchangeable hands as well, which is a nice touch because you wouldn't think they'd do it. But for a character like Ultron, who, even though he's a robot, is very expressive, like it would have been a miss.
He's like when people sometimes when like the movies they remake Ultron or different artists redo him without really knowing him. They make him very robotic, like a sort of transformer. But Ultron is he's that sort of 60s robot where they thought it would all be all sleek and chibi like Iron Man's classic armor. He's very that sleek look. He just looks like a metal man with some spikes and, shoulder pads on him. Got a crazy head. So I love that they've just gone with that. They've not complicated it. They've gone, this is Ultron 11. Here you go. You've been asking for him. Brilliant.
Yeah, looking good. What are you thinking, Brandon? Is this a toot for you?
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better than Craig did. I mean, this is a figure I've been wanting for a long, long time. The only thing that would have made it better is if they announced alongside it, and you'll have Army Build Ultron bots available this spring. That would have been the only thing that would have made it better. Other than that, I think he's great. He's pinless, interchangeable hands, Kirby Crackle. Love the design. Just solid work from the Legends team. Following up with Kang, this is another iconic, and Thanos. That's like my triangle of favorite Marvel villains, complete within 6 months. Done.
Yeah, they're I'm just jumping to the comics. Rich says, Dwight said that all the metal is deco, so no marbling on the plastic in Shartimus's interview. So yeah, so hopefully, I know a lot of people complain about the marbling effect in the figures, and Dwight explained that it's the injection of where they're putting in the mold. I don't hate it on a figure that's meant to be metallic. I sometimes think it can add, but for a character like Ultron, I like the way they've gone for just a sleek, all solid one colour, because he doesn't have weird, funky patterns in him. Like, you can get away with it when it's like on gunmetal armour or something like that. But for Ultron, I think it would have looked sloppy and would have messed with his look. It wouldn't be the mind's eye version of Ultron, but yeah, I agree with you both. This is probably my favourite of the wave. Love building out the villains. And like you said, like, we're getting Red Skull in the classic green jumpsuit this year. We're getting MODOK. We've had Thanos already. Like you said, Kang at the end of last year or early this year. So, yeah, loving the villains that they're hitting out. And I'd take some Ultron bots as well. But I guess if you've got any of the previous Ultrons, you could sort of use them. Do you have any of them, Craig? I think you do, don't you?
I think I've got all of the Ultrons they've made, including the Build-A-Figure, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm not a fan of Ultron. I like Ultron by himself, kind of thing.
Yeah,
like, you know, and then he comes back. I don't like when it's like, oh, we're all... And then, you know, when there's an army of them, they just smash them. I'm like...
Did you get Jocasta? Did you?
I did.
So will you... Yeah, so will this Ultron here replace... I'm assuming you've either customed one or you're using the select one, or... What's your Ultron in your display at the minute?
It's the select one.
Yeah, I thought so, yeah.
Moment. And this is very similar. They're only slightly different. You know, I'm looking across at the select one and then back at the screen.
Yeah, will this one replace it?
The select one's still really good. You know, it's got the black in the lining, but I could easily sort that out. Like, if this guy would be sized better, the Kirby Crackle is nice. You know, I don't know. We'll see what they're like when they come out together. I think it's 6.5 dozen, really. So if you don't have the select one, this guy's great. But if you do have the select one and you're tight for money, maybe you can stick with that. I don't know.
Yeah, and like I said, people, Jocasta came out very recently, and if you wanted to pose those two up together, nice and simple. Looking at the comments, we got Cloud Foxwell with a toot, 42012 toot. Jay Darko says that Kirby Crackle with the chef's kiss. Keith T, toot toot toot. Joe figured it out, toot hit. Action Figure Expert says YouTube, here's hit for you and hit here's. I don't know what you mean. The Kirby Crackle effect is a toot. SN Customs, I think that's Sam. Wish it was a modern Ultron on a bigger body. Interesting. Nathan says pow pow toot toot. Remove Tanner's put in tooth. So he's made his own. He's made his own, which is either good or bad. I guess only Tanner knows. But there's tooths out there. So Home Dude says Ultron and the bear emoji. I'm assuming the bear emoji is Ursa Major. But yeah, okay. There are a lot of toots for this. Obviously, probably the hit of the whole wave, in my opinion. The Musket of the wave for me. Iconic character in a classic form for your Marvel Legends shelf. What's not to love? Moving on to the Guardsman. I guess you could call him a niche army builder, but an army builder all the same. He's not his first action figure either. He's had action figures in the past. I think he was on the retro Iron Man card that we spoke about recently. But he's had different looks as well in regards to their faceplate has been a bit different, but they've always been green to some extent. So what are you thinking, Craig? You liking the Guardsman? Is he an army builder?
I mean, the Guardsman is very 90s to me. You know, he's very trading cards. He's very that era. I see him as very much like a kind of a Spider-Man villain almost. He's kind of, you know, well, not him, like them as a Spider-Man villain. Like, you know, they would barrel through the wall and try and arrest Spider-Man or stop him from doing whatever. But I'm not too sure that they've realised the head quite the way I would have. I think they've really sort of accentuated the fact that it looks like he's got a gusset across his face. Like, it's just he's got this... like his nan's underwear stretched.
It's like a face chastity belt type vibe.
Yeah, it's so. But you know what? It's a good figure. I don't know if I would have chosen that body for it, but fine. Like I would have put it on a bit of the classic Iron Man with the sort of the wristband thing.
Yeah.
His hands give it a bit more interest. I'm
looking back.
Yeah, you know, it's an army builder. It's certainly got. I think it's more appealing than your Hellfire Guard.
Yeah, this. Look, yeah, Hellfire Hank is a legend in the game, right? He's famous now, right? I've upped the value of those Hellfire Guards. But this is the type of army builder where I wouldn't buy loads. I'd buy for me, this would be like 3 on the shelf. 1 with 2 flanking either side. Have a little section in the display. So you know it's an army builder, you know it's the Guardsman. He's not the type of character I could have one of, but he's the type of character where I'd buy one in the wave to get the builder figure, and then I'll wait patiently for the other 2 to go on sale on Amazon. But yeah, I like, as I said, I always like adding new characters to the modern era of Hasbro, like the modern Hasbro aesthetic for the shelf. So no complaints there. And I think we just went over 100 people in the chat and then dropped down again. So I appreciate everyone here, by the way. Thank you for joining us. Rounding up now the Hasbro display. So Brandon, Guardsman, you're a fan? I'm guessing from this wave you're picking and choosing anyway, as it is. You've got Ultron and Riri so far. I'm guessing the Guardsman ain't making you the cut.
No, so Ultron and Riri, man, are my only 2 from this wave.
Okay.
I've doubled up on both Riri and Ultron.
One to open, one to keep mint. Is the old
So I went for the mint ones from In Demand, and then I went the open ones from Toys R Us. So to be as
because you'll save money on the builder figure. Very clever. Very clever.
Yeah. So that was my plan with these. So yeah, I think, I mean, this again is cool. It's a Marvel Legend, you know. It's a nice addition to the wave. I don't really feel one way about it either way. So I think Craig makes a great point though. It would have been cool to sit on the 80th body mold. But this is nice too. It gives it that it's beefy. It's muscular. It would make for a good army builder. I
do think it's the type of figure as well that a lot of people will buy for the builder figure piece. So it's going to be one you'll be able to pick up very easily on Facebook groups and whatnot. I am sure for it. Mark Tat, the army building king. If you're still into Legends, and this would have been on your radar, but you've moved over to the GI Joe world. So now you're a poorer man than you were. So next up, okay. So Guardsman. Again, I've went in for the whole wave. So obviously I'll be getting Guardsman anyway. And as I said, if I can get a couple of cheap ones, eventually I'll get a couple to flank him on the shelf. Okay, so Stealth Suit Iron Man. When you think of Iron Man armors, Stealth Suit's got to be one of the first. If someone said to you, name some Iron Man armors, I think a lot of people, Stealth would be one of the first ones they name. It's just an iconic look with the blue. So I'm not mad that they've done it, and I'm happy that this one is on the same as the 80th at least. So now we have a couple of the same armors in different contexts. So I'm happy with it. I like, again, they didn't have to give us an unmasked Tony head, but they did. And it is a little bit different to the 80th one as well. Like a little bit older school, I think. I mean, I'm turning to look at the 80th one. It's definitely different to the 80th one, and I think it's new.
Looks the same to me.
I'm looking. The one.
Yeah, it might just be. I think it's just perhaps that this figure has not been through the factory. This is maybe like it hasn't had the digital face stamped on it, and this is like someone's painted that. I think is the difference.
Hang on, let me see if I can jump to the main.
So the hair strands coming down are the same.
Hang on, I think I can go me and side image, and we can actually do this properly. 1 second. No,
I really like the look of it, the metallic. I think the metallic is really nice. I like the fact that they've thought ahead to the fact that.
Chat, what are you saying? Chat, let us know. Do you think it's the same head, just redeco, or am I crazy? Is it a different head? Again,
he doesn't have any eyelashes in the stealth one that he does on the. I just think it's a different quality of painting.
It won't really focus anyway. But you're right. You're probably right. You're probably spot on. Where's my thing gone? There we go. Again, I just like options. Again, it's one of those where they didn't have to, but
Craig's nailed it.
Oh, there you go. Much better than me. Yeah, that's much better than me. Yeah, I think you're right. You're probably right. I'm looking at that now.
And the thing that I like...
It's the hair, innit? The quiff is exactly the same, so yeah, you're not wrong.
They knew that some people would have missed out on the 80th Iron Man, so what they've done...
Oh, okay, yeah, put the head there, yeah.
And they know that the Shang-Chi wave Iron Man, the AI Tony Stark Iron Man, they know that redeco of the 80th anniversary body will probably appeal to a lot of people. That lighter yellow, the lighter red. And so therefore they'll say, take this head, put it on that body.
Yeah,
that body has that body has a light blue hinge in the neck, though.
Which one?
This one.
The Shang-Chi one.
Oh, because of the
holographic head.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
It has a holographic
Does
neck
it
peg.
really?
Yeah. So if it was red, you would see the red through the head. So I think you're being a bit kind when you think Hasbro are doing anyone a fucking favour with this figure.
I didn't even think
people a chance to have missed
realize
out.
that.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
I didn't realize that. Wow.
So I'm looking at the chat. A lot of people are saying, yeah, it's the same head, which is fair enough. Yeah. Again, I was just.
So, question: do we think I should get this?
Have you got the Marvel 80th anniversary?
Yeah.
Do you have War Machine? Do you have
Yeah.
Crimson Dynamo? Do you know?
Yeah.
I think these are all in the same aesthetic. They're all the same body mold, so they all fit together on the display. 100 people in the chat as well, by the way. Hello, everybody. Welcome for the last 10 minutes. Hope you're doing good. Maybe I should turn some flashing lights on. A lot of people are liking this one in the chat as well. People really like the stealth armor. As I said, it's one of the more iconic Iron Man armors. It was one of the first, like, again, correct me if I'm wrong, because this is way before my time, but I do think it was one of the first alternate armors that Tony used in the comics.
Well, it was certainly one. It's probably more famous in action figure world than it is in comic world, to be honest. It's, it was one of the first alternate Marvel Legends. It came out. It was one of the chases. Was
it a Wave 1 chase?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it's really sort of famous in action figure terms because it's an easy repaint. But in terms of the comics, it turns up every so often, but really, like, who wants to see Iron Man do stealth?
I've even got the I've not even took it out of the box, but the Invincible or Iron Man armor, but the stealth version of that. It was one of the Marvel 80th years repaints.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't like that.
Yeah,
but that's a
great Iron Man. It was just a repaint, like Craig said. That's a perfect example of, to back up what Craig's saying. It's like it's the easiest go-to repaint for an Iron Man armor. It's like just put it in dark blue, but it does the job. It's the stealth armor. People like it. The chat seems to like it. We've got a lot of toots, a lot of hits.
Ordered it on Toys R Us.
There you go. How much is it on Toys R Us just for the figure?
$12.95.
You know what? You can't complain for that. You can't complain that.
And that's my thinking, is I really like the metallic blue.
It looks nice.
And I know that it's the kind of figure that I know I would like to have in bubble wrapped in the box, ready to pull out for a photo if I want to.
Yeah, I like what they did in the stop motion with it as well, and I'm sure. Shout out to the new subscribers as well who are hitting. Daryl Sando Day. Am I saying that wrong? I'm terrible with names. I can't read them. Super dyslexic people. Letters scramble in my brain, so feel sorry for me. Okay, Stealth Iron Man. 2 for both of yous.
Absolutely not. But
are you a fan of this body mold though, Craig? Do you like this?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This body mold has reinvigorated the Iron Man figures, which were kind of all over the place for a while. But this is really, it's given them a really strong foundation. I would love to see them use it, like for the Guardsman, for really, push it outside of just Iron Man himself. Use it elsewhere. Love it, but like I say, I don't need this. It's got the Build-A-Figure part. You bastards. That's
okay. Let's. I think
the only other thing I'd say is that I would have loved to see them put this with the War Machine arms. With the pinless arms from War Machine.
Right.
That would have been nice.
Okay, last one. Okay, so give us the toot and boots and the hits and misses straight away on this one. It is probably one of the most sought after, one of the most popular Iron Man armors that people have wanted in figure form for a while. It goes in many different teams from different areas of pop culture, whether it be games, comics, or toys, or whatever. But it is the Modular Iron Man. So, Craig, when you look at this Iron Man armor, where does your brain gravitate to first? And are you a fan of this figure? Are you getting it?
So my brain goes all over the place because this is very much the armor that they sold Iron Man on in the 90s. They were like, this is what he's going in, as you say, in the games and the trading cards and the toys,
TV, the TV show, the cartoon,
everything. This is this armor. If you were alive at that point in time, this was iconic.
Nathan with a super chat.
Nathan
Thank you very much.
Toland donated
Sorry, Craig.
£5 through Super Chat. Pal, thank you.
Let
Nathan
Friday read that out.
Toland. I can't be there. Only one whose go-to modulars on pre-order that might be figure of the year for me, Stealth. And Riri, a beautiful smiling face.
Thank you very much for the super chat, Nathan. So he says, I can't be the only one who's got 2 modulars on pre-order. That might be figure of the year for me. Stealth and Riri are beautiful. Yeah, I do think this modular armor is going to be one of the most popular of the wave. But yeah, carry on, Craig.
Yeah, I think I totally agree. And Rob Pollock is saying in the chat that it's surprising he doesn't come with a Tony Stark head with a mullet.
Yeah, great, yeah.
That's the really thing they're missing. I can see them repainting this, doing like a cartoon colours one, like they're doing with the holographic head Iron Man, and perhaps doing a War Machine version as well, because he turned up in the games as well.
Do you think it's only a matter of time before we see this figure on a retro purple Iron Man card?
Oh, absolutely. If they can invest in a new piece of paper rather than a new figure, then they will.
Yeah, if it comes on this retro card eventually, I'm going to end up with tons of these all over the place. I love that retro stuff.
This is a two.
Brandon?
I think what I would have loved to have seen was that, given this is the 7th figure of the wave and doesn't come in the back piece, it would have been really cool if they'd done the 6-figure wave and then put this one on that retro card to begin with. To say, here's a tease, we might come back and do more
in an ideal world
figures in the future.
In an ideal world.
That would have been cool. For me personally, I'm not too familiar with this design as much as I am a 90s kid.
You were born in 95, right? 94, 95?
Yeah, 6. 96.
Yeah, that's 96. See, you have no idea.
Same age as the Spice Girls.
Oh, wow, he was. It's true.
You're Craig, fun fact, if You Want to Be My Lover was number 1 song the day I was born.
Well,
makes sense.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's the best fun fact that I have about being born in 96. That modular armor, this body, give me in the extremist armor and give me the bleeding edge armor. Yes, please.
Yeah,
that's what excites me the most about this body.
This gets me excited to build. As I said, I've got my little MCU Hall of Armor up there, but now I can start fleshing out a comic Hall of Armor in the sort of modern Hasbro era, rather than having like random Toy Biz ones on it. So I've seen loads of people do that recently with the Disney Toy Box Hall of Armor display that people are creating. Yeah. Which, don't get me wrong, some of them look great, but you can tell when there's an Iron Man from the Toy Biz compared to more modern ones, and it just looks really out of place. So I like. This could go in a Hall of Armor with your 80th anniversary Iron Man, and it wouldn't look out of place. It would look like a different Iron Man armor, which is the whole point. And like you said, this is a lot of people's mind's eye version of Iron Man. This is a lot of people's first introduction to Iron Man, just as you said, not just through the comics, just through this is what they used as Iron Man in pop culture, whether it be games and the cartoon, I guess, would be the 2 big ones. But yeah, if there was an Iron Man t-shirt in the 90s, this would have probably been the design on it. So yeah, I've seen a lot of people get excited at this.
In the same way that the 80th Iron Man was the gateway to all of these classic armors that we've seen, like the Silver Centurion, War Machine, and so on, I think this will be the gateway for their more modern Iron Man armors as a base sculpt.
No. I can see them reusing it a lot just as is, but I don't know if I can see them doing much more than what it is with it. If it turns round and it's got like peg holes in the back, they're going to be selling you jetpacks. They're going to be making scuba gear for them. They're going to be doing all the stuff we want them to do. Do that. That's what we're after. We want that shit. But yeah, I don't know how flexible this is because it's all that unique sculpt. It's got those V shapes that, you can't really trade them out for other parts.
Yeah, you're right.
So as well as
I just like the idea of getting more modern armors like that with that pinless look. I just think it would do them justice For sure.
Well, as I said, it's going to be a matter of time before we see this on some nice shiny purple card. How long until we see it in a deluxe box with that giant cannon that he uses in the game, which I've already seen people 3D printing on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
So I think I've seen a lot of toots, but just one more for the road people. Toot or boot for the modular Iron Man. As I said, I've seen a couple of people. Nathan said he's buying 2 already. I've got a J Darko with the Uber Toot. Shout out to Rob Pollock as well, joining us here this evening.
Yes,
Glad you could join us, Rob. I know you're working a lot these days, so we appreciate it. Abnugler's got the horns out. Monkey 29 DNA says boot for me, to be honest, but mostly because no builder figure. That's fair enough. As I said, each to their own. No wrong answers here.
From that one.
I was 16 in 1996. Shit. We all feel the same. We're all old apart from Brandon. Toot 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 says Mini Plastic Multiverse. Cloud Foxwell with the horns. Jamie with the toot. Rob Pollock says, how crazy is it that the colour scheme some of us really want for this figure is pictured on the back of the packaging? Oh, so what's on the back of the packaging?
I think it's because they can't really use gold paint on the package.
Oh, okay, yeah, I guess so.
Saying.
Yeah, it's a more yellowy gold. If I know what you're saying, yeah, I get what you're saying. Graham with the toot, Wallace with the toot, Nerf Herder with the horns out for 2012 for the trumpets. So yeah, a lot of people like this one. Okay, so over 100 people here as we wind down. Are you two still good to stay for a little bit as we just finish up here? Just a few more?
Yeah, no problem.
Beautiful. Okay, so next up is obviously Ursa Major, the builder figure, but he's not on pre-order, so I'll have to throw up my picture a second. So let me see if I can grab the picture for us. 1 second. There he is. There's the big, beautiful bear. Ursa Major. So, Craig, I know you're a big fan of big, hairy things. Ursa Major.
Was that a sexual innuendo?
No, not at all.
On I
was about werewolves. You're a big werewolf fan, right?
Like if it's a hairy giant man that'll tear you to pieces. Oh yeah. Although now is that a single jointed knee? I'm just no. This is what did I do? Salute. So this is shoot. This is a shoot. This is the.
Oh wow.
This is why I unfortunately have to get every figure in this goddamn wave.
That's amazing.
You know, I love you, Dark Star. I love you, holographic Iron Man. I'm gonna have to toot you all. You know, eat my words because I need this guy. I just love it so much. I don't have any connection to the character, but who fucking cares? Because it's a giant fucking bear man. Like you don't need a connection to the character for this to work for you. This is so good. It looks so. It's something we thought they would never do, or they would slap it on the Sasquatch body, or something like that. But yeah, I love this. I'm so glad they, maybe listened to people and gave it a shot.
There are other images, but I haven't got them up. They might be on Toy Arc for real quick. Brandon, Ursa Major. I'm guessing not interested since you've only picked up 2. But do you appreciate who he is and what he is? And people want him. He's been on a lot of people's want lists.
Yeah, I've seen this guy on wish list for a while, and I think this was really. I mean, I was expecting a comic Hulkbuster.
That would have been a great shout. Yeah, it would have been.
That was what my expectation was.
It's an educated guess for this wave would be the comic Iron Man. Yeah.
And I have to say, I was pleasantly surprised that it wasn't the comic Hulkbuster, because otherwise I would have been in Craig's position, which is that I have to get every single figure in this wave, or I would have gone to Toys R Us and got it that way. But yeah, I think this was really cool to have it with Darkstar as well, especially if you've already got Red Guardian. You've got 3 there as a team already. You're pretty much sorted.
So I found some more pictures. So I'm just going to flick through these, by the way.
Yeah. So I think this is really, really nice, especially as well because we just had the Joe Fixit. We're about to get Mr. Hyde. Not that we know that yet.
No one knows. Street dates, Brandon. Street dates.
So it's nice to know that we're getting. We've got this, which is different. In the same way, I suppose that Stiltman was different, Tri-Sentinel was different. But again, it's just as Craig said, we don't get something like this very often. It could have been lazy and gone on the Wendigo or other body mold, but it's cool that we got it like this.
Okay, beautiful. So it's two for everybody in the USO Major. On a whole, then, regardless that there's a few figures that will probably be a miss, but on a whole, is this a nice Marvel Legends wave? Very Iron Man heavy, of course, but that's the point. But yeah, on a whole, are we fans of this wave, Craig?
Yeah, this is a good wave. It embraces the stupid a lot more. You know, when you get in the movie stuff, it's a bit too dour and, you know, not really brightly coloured. But all of these are really brightly coloured. There's, even when they're crap, there's something to laugh about them, you know, or it's a character that's, you know, it serves a purpose. It's not some outlier that you just throw in a box. They can stand with something else. It's a strong wave that, you know, widens people's collections, has a really good original BAF, and has some really strong original characters in it as well. So it's a toot for a wave.
Beautiful. So Brandon, would you, as I said, subjectively, I know you're not buying them all, but you still appreciate the wave for what it is for people?
Yeah, and I completely agree with everything Craig said. Absolutely.
Perfect. So obviously, so I'm going to go through some of the rest of the Hasbro stuff now, just as we wind down. I'm not going to talk about the MCU Thor. We're trying to stick to comic for now. Yeah. But I'll talk about that on a different day when Craig's not around, because I love me some MCU stuff. But they did reveal this, and they revealed this one here, so I'll bring it up now. These both were revealed during the premium party. Did you? By the way, Craig, I love you were doing your best sort of Terry Wogan or who does it now? Is it Graham Norton? Yeah. So yeah. Well, I remember Terry Wogan getting drunk doing it. So you were doing your best Eurovision sort of commentary during Fan Fest that I kept dipping in and out of, which was making me giggle. But they did. This was on the premium pool party, if I believe, where
that was the night before, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah. This was the day before, but.
They started the party for this middle-aged bastard at 10 p.m. They think I'm turning up to that. I switched on. I was like, oh no, I'm going to bed. This is not for me.
Yeah, I kept it on after the back because we did a stream, I think, Brandon, right? And we did last week's stream, and then we finished, and I just kept it on in the background. But yeah, they revealed this, obviously. So Cannonball, they did already tell us. We're getting a lot of hits in the comments, by the way, a lot of hit emojis. But yeah, let us know, hit and miss, toot and boot in the comments for these two. So Ryan has said in a couple, because he was blatantly asked in one of the Marvel interviews, is this a 2-pack? And Ryan wouldn't confirm if it was a 2-pack. So obviously it's heavily rumoured that it's a 2-pack because in the darker days of Hasbro, there was or maybe it was Toy Biz, I can't remember, but there was a Domino and Cannonball 2-pack. But he never confirmed it was a 2-pack. So these two, they could be on single carded X-Force retro cards for all we know, which has always been my guess for how we'd see Cannonball again. But these legs, so this body apparently was tooled the same time the first Cannonball body was, but they ended up going with the blast effect instead of the legs. So this body will come apart at the waist the exact same way the current Cannonball does. So if you wanted to mix and match your Cannonballs, whether you prefer the other torso or you want to use the blast effects on this particular design, you can. And apparently this guy comes with 2 heads as well. They didn't show both heads, but apparently this guy comes with 2 heads as well. So if you have got the previous Cannonball and then you went for this one, whether it is single packed or double packed, you will have options for your display, which are always nice. I always appreciate the options. And then, of course, the big deal with the Domino is double jointed female elbows, which a lot of people were very happy with. And this is a very sort of X-Force-y look for Domino as well, as they've both got the sort of purpley tint. But yeah, we don't know if it's a 2-pack or single pack yet. We don't know, but Domino still comes with her crazy guns. But she doesn't need guns. She's got the look. She can just dodge bullets with her super look. But Craig, what are you thinking? You happy Cannonball's got legs? Like, are you praised like everyone else? You don't care.
You couldn't give 3 spare shits about Cannonball's fucking legs. It's, you know, I'm not that fussed about X-Force. Never have been. Some of the characters are fun. If he came with the blast effect and the legs, great. But like, oh my god, like, guys, just stop making us choose. Like, fine. But there's a lot of X-Force characters I like, but this particular era of the costumes never worked for me. To me, they look like the seat covers of a you know what, a megabus or something.
Oh like wow, yeah, weird just designs.
like just this awful combination of purples. It makes me car sick, like looking at it. So they're not for me, but I appreciate that these are good figures of those costumes, but I can't look at them because they make my eyes feel sick.
I don't. I'm looking at them now. I don't hate the purples and the blues and the white. I do think they're
literally me. It's because this is a whole thing. When I was a kid, I had this car sick medicine that was kind of that color.
Oh, okay.
So whenever I see this color, it's this.
The taste comes back in your mouth, and you start having flashbacks.
It's PTSD.
I say no more. I say no more. I get it. Brandon, X-Force, you a fan of these two? Double jointed female elbows as well. I must be happy with that.
Yes. I really like the Domino that we already had though. In the
Sauron wave?
Tell me.
Oh, I've just told you.
That's Scotch Wave, right? That's okay. Yeah, so I like that costume. As much as I love that should have pinless elbows and I assume pinless legs as well, double jointed legs as well. I think this will probably drop around August, September time, and let's just say there are going to be a lot of other legends that are going to be occupying my wallet space as opposed to Domino and Cannonball. I think if Toys R Us does a split, I would probably go to Cannonball just because it would be cool having the legs and the.
Do you have the previous Cannonball?
Yeah. So it'd be cool to interchange them like that. But this I would only skip on this just from a cost cutting standpoint.
In the comments, Prophet says Richter and Farrell, please. Another couple of members of the X-Force that you'll need. I like how these two are in theme. That's what, as I said. So my educated guess for these two is X-Force purple retro card. That's my guess. I could be completely wrong, but that's my guess. How do you two think these will end up coming out?
I think they're a 2-pack. I think why would they dodge?
Why wouldn't they say yes, though? If it was a 2-pack and they're revealing both, why wouldn't they just say yes, it's a 2-pack? Why are they avoiding it?
I think the mystery is what keeps people engaged. Whereas if they just tell people flat out, they'd stop talking about it.
Okay.
So if they keep people guessing, then that's something.
Because, sorry, go ahead.
No.
Because if they lead us to believe that it's a retro way, then one of these weeks, then we'll do a wish list on X-Force characters we'd like to see.
Yeah, we'll do that anyway. I've read it on the list anyway. It'll be done. We need more content.
If they do it as a 2-pack, then it'll lead us to believe that the other 2-packs that Hasbro did in those early days will get updates as well. So by not confirming or denying either way, it leaves us to speculate about all of it.
Well, we love speculation here on the channel. It's what my live streams are built on. But the well is running dry. I think next week's stream is what members of the Serpent Society would you like to see in alternative colours? No, I'm joking. we're getting deep, Craig. We're getting deep. But no, these were nice 2 reveals. But these were revealed on the Premium Pulse Party. It seems like people in the chat are liking it. Oh, there's my Thanos Copter. I haven't seen that in a while. 3-pack with Ferrell. That's an interesting. Yeah, it could be. Maybe that's why they didn't confirm it was a 2-pack, because it's a 3-pack. Maybe
it could be a 5-pack.
Could be
a big Thunderbolt style box set.
It could be. I'll take them either way. I like them.
It could be a build a Cannonball wave.
It could be. Right, next up, they also finally confirmed, after a lot of speculations, because it was heavily rumoured that we're going to get 2 of these waves off the bat. But then Hasbro were like, maybe with all those X-Men Weapon X's on the shelf, they may have changed their mind. But it appears Jesse Falcon's love for Age of Ultron is showing through, and they are eventually going to get a second wave. And as I said, I've grew to love the Age of Apocalypse designs. I ended up getting them all when they were £10 each in Forbidden Planet. It's because I wanted the Sugar Man anyway. And they've now got like a little corner. I point down here because it's down here. And it's like a nice little colourful corner of my display with all the Age of Apocalypse figures together. And I'm not mad about it, to be fair. Last year I was proper taking the mick out of Age of Ultron. It was a running joke. But I actually like the idea now that we're going to be hopefully getting like a Rogue and a Gambit and a Cyclops. And obviously Sabretooth here is confirmed to go along with Wild Child. So I'm learning to love these designs more than I previously did. Like, they ain't my mind's eye versions of these characters, but I appreciate what they are. So at this point, I'm welcoming in a second wave. So Craig, Age of Apocalypse, happy for a second wave? Do you have the first ones?
I mean, I got a couple of the first ones, but I was kind of in that period where I was like really trying to rein Marvel Legends in because I had gone really off the deep end. So
tell me about it, Craig. Tell me about it.
Try to just pull it back, and I didn't even get them when they were cheap because I kind of learned my mantra, which I'm happy it's there. I don't need to own it, but that's because those characters were really not the characters that anyone wanted in an Age of Apocalypse wave. Like, we want Sabretooth, we want Rogue, we want Magneto, we want Cyclops, we want a Build-A-Figure of Holocaust more than Colossus. But
isn't he called Nemesis now? They couldn't call him Holocaust, right?
They can't call him Holocaust because you know what, the Nazis get upset.
Yeah, of course they do. Of course they do.
They're like that. We've got the trademark on that. You can't use it.
Suing Hasbro.
Sure it's for more sensitive reasons than that. But so I'm happy to see them. I would like them. They're very basic designs. They're very body stockings with a couple of zigzaggy colours and a face tattoo. So the figures can be maybe a bit not exciting. So I'm hoping that they can, with Jesse behind it, he's like, yeah, let's make these guys amazing. But we'll see what happens.
There is already a rumoured list out there of what's in the wave, and I think Gambit and Rogue are in it. People are rumoured that because Kitty Pryde is in the wave as well, that Colossus could be the Build-A-Figure. But as
man.
Yep. With Magneto, I don't think they could just pack in like an alternative Magneto head with Rogue, for example, and because we could pop that head on the Family Matters 3-pack version, right? He still wears red, right?
It's been my idea that they should just do a deluxe Magneto just because he's just the red. Give him a couple of capes, give him a bit of a ball thing that he flies around in, give him the Age of Apocalypse head, the helmet, the unmasked one, the normal one, different, long-haired, mulleted Eric. Do all the things you've already done, put them all together on a good Magneto body and make it a deluxe figure. Just give everyone the Magneto they want because his costume's never that different in alternate realities. So just go with it, I think.
Brandon, Age of Apocalypse. Now, if I remember correctly, you were on the same page as me originally and trying to avoid this wave, but you didn't buckle in like me because as I said, I'm weak. What can I say? So yeah, I'm guessing you're not interested. This is happy for everyone else, but not for you. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I like how you're just nodding and you didn't even need to say anything. I just knew what you're thinking. Beautiful. Okay, moving on because I'm conscious of time. Okay, so they revealed the packaging for this, and it's massive, very impressive. Craig, you did go for a Sentinel, right? You did go for one.
I did.
Yeah.
I'm more in it for Master Mold and Bastion than the Sentinel itself. But yeah.
Yeah,
see if I regret it when it arrives.
Well, we shall see. This is definitely one. As I said, I've got two coming. So, but I ordered them at different times, so I don't know if they'd both come at the same time or what. We shall. That's if the UK even get them first. Fingers crossed, Zavi. Come on, Zavi. Yeah, come on, Zavi. But yeah, okay. Sentinel packaging looks great. They've been showing it off during that premium party as well. It has loads of features with the buttons and stuff. The Year of the Sentinel. I like how the packaging is in theme with the Powers of X-Wave as well. All on brand, all of that. But yeah, just to get everyone excited, let people know it's coming. They've been telling everyone during the interviews that it's planning to ship sometime in August. So if we're lucky, Craig, we might have years before the year is out, if we're lucky. Brandon, do you like the packaging? You've got two, so you keeping one on card? Well, keeping one in the box for a while, seeing what the aftermarket's saying, or are you opening them both up?
No, I think originally I was thinking to do that. I was thinking to just one to open, one to not. But the more we've kind of gotten closer to it, I think because last year I cleared out like a whole half of one of these like units.
Billy bookcases, ain't they?
Yeah, the Billy bookcases. I sold like half a case worth of figures. Just to clear it, and I think I will put my two there. If I'm honest, I think I'll put them there, and then I think all of my X-Men figures will go onto that one display around these two Sentinels. The only thing then though is that if the next HasLab is as big as it is, I don't know where that then goes. So that I'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But I think I will open the two because I like and. I think Dwight posted a picture of the Master Mold head, and I'm not crazy about it. I like it, but I'm not crazy about it. But I think I would only use the Master Mold head personally if I was taking photos of it. But I think in terms of the shelf, I think I'll put them both with the 2 Sentinel heads for sure.
Hopefully sooner rather than later we get these. But you talked about the next HasLab, which is obviously where I'm going with this. So yeah, this was probably my biggest surprise out of the panel, because I didn't expect them to reveal another HasLab so soon, especially considering the Sentinel's not even shipped yet. I don't think any of the other brands that have done a HasLab so far have revealed a second one so soon. I think all of them that have been out so far, whether it be the Sail Barge or Unicron, those brands didn't release a second one until the first one was in people's hands. So that's how confident the Hasbro team seemed to be. I guess so. So, yeah, Fantastic Four themed. So, Craig, I guess my question is, are you surprised they announced a HasLab so soon? Was this a surprise? Who do you think it is? And are you going to be getting it? If it is the World Eater?
Yeah, it's a bit of a surprise because, as you say, we haven't, if they're expecting us to get on board before we've seen whether they can actually deliver the first one, then that's a huge ask. But I think teasing something, I think the community just thrives on speculation and that at the moment. So, yeah, I think they're probably wise to get people talking and excited about it. I think it's going to be Galactus because just in the trailer they did, it was like a space backdrop, so that doesn't suggest the Fantastic-Car. If it was the city or the Baxter building, I would, in the background, I would say a Fantastic-Car or something. But it being Galactus does disappoint me a little because I think it's a waste of HasLab. I think HasLab is where they need to sort of test things to see if a market for it exists and can they manufacture it. Their Sentinel was hugely successful and they're so happy with how it's turning out. They don't need it to be this experimental thing.
Yeah, they can just put it out.
They could just literally go, we're making Galactus. He costs this much, maybe a bit more than the Sentinel. He's going to be bigger or whatever the fuck they want to do. They know that market is there because the Sentinel is so successful. They don't need to do this. I think it's a waste of a HasLab slot if it is Galactus. At the same time, I'm happy if it is Galactus because I love the guy.
You're not wrong. It's like Hasbro at this point know it's going to sell without the HasLab label, but I think they're using HasLab, like you said, as a marketing gimmick to create hype, so they can add tiers, so they have something to talk about as the tiers unlock. And yeah, they turn it into a bigger deal with the HasLab, I guess, and just saying, oh, Galactus is up for pre-order. So yeah, I think that's more of a marketing thing. And they have publicly said many times that Galactus was their first suggestion for HasLab, and it was for a while before they switched to Sentinel. So they probably already got a lot of the design or whatever done for this. So that's why it's out so quick, because they were like, wow, we've already sculpted up Galactus. Let's just put it into motion. So yeah, so Brandon, as I said, you just said yourself, would you have room for this? If we're just saying if it is Galactus, is it an instant buy for you? Because I did actually ask Hasbro, I knew they wouldn't tell me, but I did try to get out the Hasbro team at a ballpark figure.
I thought that was a very clever way to approach it. I was like, oh yeah, that's the best way. Like, because you gave an actual structured reason for them to give us an idea. Like, how much do we need to start saving? Yeah. If you want people to be in on it, you need to give them time to save.
That was exactly my point, yeah. But he never gave me an exact price. He said Sentinel-esque is fair. So Brandon, let's say it's $350 again. It's the Galactus. Are you in?
I think yes, but just on that note, I think it's a good point, because I think had we had any foreknowledge that they were going to be looking into a HasLab, I think you and I both then probably would have planned ahead of time, saved, and probably gone for 3 Sentinels as opposed to 2.
Yeah.
I think I'm very happy with 2, and I think when I consider space and the rest of it, then I'm happy with the 2. I only would have done the 3 because I know the 3rd would have funded my 2. But I definitely would have pushed for 3 had I known ahead of time that I have that to get, basically. I think that being said, with this, depending on what the tiers are, I think it's likely that you will only need 1 Galactus. I can't see why you would need 2.
It's got to be the Heralds, right? The Heralds of Galactus for tiers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
and an alternate head with the skull inside it.
That'd be great.
Yeah. So therefore, I don't think there would be a huge justification for more than one.
Mm-hmm.
But given that I did do 2 for Sentinel, I think this time I would go 2 for Galactus because the aftermarket would be crazy.
Well, I guess in thinking of that, we're not even going to be able to see what the aftermarket for the Sentinel's even going to be like when it comes to ordering this, because we won't even have the Sentinel yet. And it's one of them where we don't, until people have the Sentinel in their hand and we see how, because obviously the Sentinel was released during the pandemic year, so a lot of people that would have wanted it unfortunately missed out on it. But it's unfair on those guys to then have to go and pay triple. If it was a normal year and they just were lazy and were like, nah, I don't want it, but then got FOMO and wanted it after, then fair enough. But during the pandemic year, I do think it's going to be a bit awkward to sort of gauge the aftermarket price of the Sentinel. Like, it's on Big Bad already for like double the price, I think, and it's sold out on there for double the price. So it's definitely going to be higher, but I am very curious, like you said, of what the aftermarket price will be like with that. But we're not even going to see that because this is going to come out soon. The Fantastic Four wave is rumoured to be retro, and obviously we know that they're talking about Fantastic Four a lot during all these interviews they did. They said it's the 60th anniversary, right, I believe?
Yeah.
So it makes sense to do the retro wave and then Galactus as well, all tied together. Makes sense. I don't think it's the Fantastic Four. It's Galactus, and his Heralds of Galactus are his unlocks, his tiers.
Yeah.
Right, I'm just going to bounce through these. Do you care about retro figures?
I care about them because they look nice, but I don't care about them enough to buy them because I don't have the space and would rather spend more money on Legends.
You got any of these, Craig?
Absolutely not.
And that's the stream, people, everybody. I'm going to wrap up there. Let me just jump back to the other thing. Okay, so let's just round up here. So, Craig, what was there from just Hasbro Fan Fest as a whole? Favorite reveal, favorite thing they shown?
Oh well, the Ursa Major.
Yeah.
The wave in general was really good. I was really happy to see it, and there's a lot of good and bad in there for me, and I was just, that's because, I mean, like Brandon says about the rest of it, Transformers was good for me, but Marvel Legends is what I'm going with.
Brandon, same question to you.
Riri.
Simple as that. Riri. Easy. Okay, fair enough. I think the thing that surprised me the most was the announcement of the HasLab. Unexpected. Didn't think we'd see it. I thought if we got lucky, we may see another one teased before the end of the year, but I did think we'd get the Sentinel in our hands before they were even allowed to do another one. So it shows how much Hasbro think of the Marvel brand, or how well it must have done on their end for them to go, green light another one straight away.
Or how much money they're not making because they can't do any MCU figures.
Or that, I guess so. Yeah, you're right, with everything being pushed around. Well,
negative Nancy.
Well, Shang-Chi's the Shang-Chi street date is like April something. So a lot of Targets and stuff in America are shoving Shang-Chi on the shelf, and Hasbro ain't happy about it.
April 25th was the April 25th was the street date. I think because the original release date of the film was May.
Yeah, it was. Black Widow was March, wasn't it? First. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and it only got pushed to July and then to September. I think it only got pushed to September a couple of weeks ago. I think it only got pushed to July a few months ago.
Oh,
so
those figures were already on a boat.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. But those figures were already on the boat.
Wave got Black Widow, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Those figures were already on a boat. The Lego figures are already being found, and Lego are usually the first to put anything out. Again, and like Craig said, Ursa Major, didn't expect that as the builder figure. I would have went with Brandon if I had to put money on it and say it would have been the comic builder figure. Shout out to Rich M, finishing off here with some super chats. Thank you very much, Rich. Much appreciated.
Thank you, Rich.
Let Friday read that out.
Was the toot of the night. I don't see you walking children in nature, Craig Warrack. Rolling on the floor laughing.
It's Dark Star of the toot of the night. Another super chat straight away from Joe Figured It Out. Thank you very much.
Joe Figured It Out donated $4.99 through super chat. Thank you, Joe Figured It Out. Great stream as always. Have a great Thursday, everyone.
Thank you very much, Joe Figured It Out. We appreciate that, and thank you for joining us. Talk about Marvel Legends and Star Wars and our little knowledge on all the other brands, but we appreciate you sticking with us. So yeah, thank you, Rich M, and thank you, Joe, for getting out, finishing us off here with a super chat. So yeah, Craig, again, much appreciated for joining us. Thank you. I do always enjoy having you on. Welcome anytime. Tell the lovely people where they can find you online.
They can find me on Pornhub. Just search for Warrack right up there. You can find me on YouTube, and just Warrack is the name of my channel, Warrack, and you can also find me on Instagram at Craig Warrack, and just Google me. I'm all over the place.
It's on the screen right now, people. You can see it under Craig. There it is. His little tags right there. Go and follow him. Brandon, I'm sure you already are anyway, to be honest. Brandon, where can they find you online?
Hero Collections, guys, as always. Dan, it was a pleasure.
Thank you. It's true. He's there. Wait, I can do it. I can do it as well. There he is.
Craig, it was so great having you back for a toot and boot and a shoot and salute.
Oh, nice.
It's always a nice time. Just quickly before we go.
Yes.
E. Rivera just posted this picture on his Instagram. That Tony Stark head does work on that new Tony Stark body. Well, same body, but the repainted body.
The style for the 80th. Oh, they're the same anyway, I guess, ain't they?
Yeah, that's that same 80th body with the lighter colours.
Of course it would have. It's the same bloody body, just repainted. Of course it would have fit, right?
Yeah, but we were talking about the
you have to put his chin down. Have to put his chin down to hide his.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I'm not sure if it's that the
no
the
flight
chin
poses.
hides it or not. Yeah.
Just as we wrap up here, shout out to everyone who's been in the chat and joined us today. We've had some decent numbers for most of the stream. I'm just going to throw up the credits real quick if they work for me. I've been doing this recently. Just a quick thank you to everyone who's contributed to the stream today. If it will work for me, let's just bounce to it. So there you go. Thank you to everyone who's threw in a super chat. So we got Z-Man, Tat Customs, Blake, Tanner, Nathan, Richem, Joe figured it out. Much appreciated. Thank you to you. As always, I appreciate all the support here on the channel. The channel's sort of turned into just me doing live streams. I need to get back to reviewing some toys. I did just pay for my Powers of X-Wave only 4 months after the Americans. So I have those reviews that everyone's dying to see up on the channel soon. Told you, Craig, I need those 250 views. If I get 250 views on a review, it's all worth it, trust me.
It's the constant content.
It's consistent, exactly.
Views don't matter. I can have a billion views on my browser, but I'm not doing any videos. No one gives a shit. YouTube don't care. Consistency,
exactly. You got to stick to the schedule. But yes, thank you all, people. You know where to find me, Dan who reviews here on YouTube. If you're watching here on YouTube and you haven't clicked subscribe, then please do join us here every Thursday talking toys and whatnot, and but yeah, on Instagram as well. But yeah, nice one, lad. Thank you as always, and see you on the next one. Can we get an awkward wave as we finish here? There we go. Beautiful. That's very royal. Oh, there you go. Oh, nice. Tease them, Craig. Tease them.
Bye, boys. See you later.